Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to, basically day one here at PUBG Mobile Club Open, the wildcard side of things. My name is Blair, and joining me on this journey over the next 2 weeks, I believe, a lot of days of action lineup for you guys is going to be, of course, ClashPot 047. I'm going to be very precise with the way I pronounce your moniker, but how are you doing this fine morning?
I'm pretty good, Blair. Thank you so much, and very much excited as well.
Yeah,
it's a big event.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a massive event, right? I'm super pumped up as well. And let's be real. I was taking a look at some of the teams over here, and I haven't seen a lot of the names which I saw there. So I'm assuming that you would be excited as well to see some newer names coming up here.
Yeah, there are actually pretty much lots of underdogs, if that's the word I have to choose. But it doesn't mean they're not going to do well or they're not going to perform well. So you can expect something unexpected to happen here.
Something unexpected to happen, indeed. I do believe we have some of the graphics for you guys. My feed's stuck for the time being. I don't know why that's taking place. Maybe it's just day one jitters. You do tend to have a few technical issues. Maybe it's on my end. I don't know what's happening. I hope it's working fine for you.
Yeah, it's working fine for me.
Yeah, well, actually, just on my end.
Yeah. And talking about the teams, we have 32 teams playing, and wow, what an amazing event it's going to be.
Prize pool coming up as well. There we go. My feed seems to be fixed right now. So we have the prize pool coming up. We can take a look at that very, very quickly. Take a gander how much money is on the line. It's $29,200 on the line for all these teams. There are 32 teams participating, from which 16 of them will unfortunately have to say goodbye at the end of the group stage, and from which we'll have 16 teams playing the playoffs clash. And from that, we're going to have only 2 teams make it to the next stage of the regional qualification process. So, a lot on the line, but also it feels like it is going to be a bloodbath because 2 teams out of 32 qualifying is pretty brutal, let's be honest.
Definitely. And the good part is, nobody's going to be empty-handed. Everybody's going to get something there. So that's a good part of it. And that's also a good thing that we have, those 2 teams, top 2 teams, will be qualified with the next stage. It's really pretty good incentive, I guess.
It is a pretty good incentive. Like, you want that money, but you also want those 2 spots and also the big chunk, the lion's share of the purse, one might say. Let's take a look very quickly though at the 2 groups who are going to be playing here today. We have, of course, let's talk about the point system first. I've enjoyed watching how much the placement points have been lessened over the months, over the years, right? Once upon a time, like you pointed out earlier when we were just having a bit of a rehearsal, you remember seeing 30 points as for going the way of the team who gets chicken dinner. Now it's way lesser, meaning the kill points are going to be mattering way more than it used to before.
Actually, I guess teams, they will go a little bit more aggressive because those kill points, 1 kill or 1 point, but it doesn't mean that's a lesser point. That's going to make a huge difference there. The chicken did 15 points on top of that. Wow. Yeah,
I'd love to see a 20 kill game coming in from one of these teams here today. Speaking of teams, let's take a look at the teams who are going to be playing. It's going to be Group A facing off, I do believe, against Group B. So it's going to be 16 teams, each group with 8 teams apiece. We have APES Incorporated, we have KTM. We'll get back to those names later on. We have, of course, PeaklySeven here, Wonkru, Team Kangaroo, and Team Hype. A couple of known names, a couple of some newer names as well coming in. And as we take a look at Group B, we should have a couple of teams who I have seen in the past, but let's be real, some of these lineups seem a little new for me. Any names which jump out from you from Group A and Group B over here?
Well, VelociRaptor, we've seen them before, Nepal Esports, and talking about from Group A, we've seen Hype, performed really well previously. So we also have Team Ignore, EpicGaming, Muslim King, Nightmare. So these teams are pretty much new for me. I'm not sure about you, but
new teams are great though, right? New teams are great because you get a chance to see someone surprise all of us, catch us all off guard, and maybe there's going to be a new name which you're going to be talking about in the near future. So for me, I love seeing like open qualifiers. You have some of these unknown teams, they have a dream, they want to make it all the way to the pro league. They want to be playing with the best of the best out there, the creme de la creme, so to speak. And this is the opportunity, right?
Yeah, it's actually a huge opportunity, trust me. Because and these teams, the 32 teams, they're gonna try their best. They're gonna try their best to get the chicken dinner and also those kill points.
Indeed,
That's
they are.
something we will definitely see here.
Indeed, we should. And we also have like a lot of regions being represented here. Bear in mind, this is not just a South Asia wildcard. This is a wildcard for the entirety of the APAC region, if I'm not very much mistaken. So you have a lot of nationalities being a part of this, a lot of teams, a lot of different play styles. Also, one might say, there's one thing we notice, like when we look at, for example, the global challenge, you see all these teams from all over the world playing, like South America, we have North America, we have Asia, we have China, we have Europe as well. And even Africa for that matter. And we notice how there tends to be differing approaches to the game from all these different regions and teams. Do you expect to see something of that nature here, like teams approaching the game way more differently than you might be used to seeing, like, living and observing South Asian PUBG Mobile?
Well, it could be possible, it could be possible, because if you take an example of Yocto E-Sport, who started pretty new in the previous wildcard season, they played really well. Despite being underdogs, they played really well. So I think we could see some kind of new strategies coming out from these new teams. Who knows?
Maybe they don't even
some good thing from there.
Yeah, same here. And at the same time, we're talking about teams who probably don't know each other that well, who haven't really played with each other that often. So it could lead to some chaos in the server, which is something which we all love to see. Let's take a look, though, at the schedule of the day. We have 4 games that's going to be played every single day. And there we go, the time is going to be at 1:30 p.m. That's GMT +8. It's going to start off on everyone's favorite, the usual, everyone's favorite map. That is going to be Erangel. Sanhok is one of my personal favorites. It's small, it's chaotic, it's crazy. Then we have Miramar, the third map, much more bigger map compared to anything else, which these teams are going to be playing on. And then to close things out, it is going to be Erangel. So we're just going to be going full circle. So 4 games every day, 4 maps. Not much breathing space here. With 32 teams, the games are just going to keep happening non-stop. We don't really have much of a break in between these maps. So it's going to be 4 games every day. So for the group stage, as we did touch upon earlier, Clash, it's going to be 6 days starting today all the way to Sunday. So 6 days, 4 maps every day. And if my math is correct, now hold on. I'm going to do the math in my head here. 24 maps. 24 maps in total. Is it? It's supposed to be 24, right?
I think every single teams will be playing 12 matches.
They're going to be playing only 12 though, but 24 in total. Of course, split into these 2 groups per game, which will be 12 maps, like you pointed out correctly. 12 maps. That's not much breathing space if you think about it, right? You screw up, like over half of them. There's going to be another team who's going to be jumping on top of you and jumping up over you rather, and that means out of 32 to 16, it's just going to be nerve-wracking from the get-go. It's going to be a high pressure from game 1 itself.
And the thing is, Erangel is going to be covering 50% of the matches here, so these teams are quite. What do you say? They're much more familiar with Erangel. We can say that, rather than Sanhok and Miramar. I personally love to play on Erangel. I don't know if I can say this, but Vikendi is something. They removed it, and I feel good about it.
You feel good about it?
I don't like that map.
So, like everyone hates it. Everyone hates it, Vikendi, and I feel bad with that map, right? I don't know. I mean, I feel like it fit the right spot between it's a 6x6 map. It's smaller than your Erangel and your Miramar. It's not as compact as Sanhok, which allows itself to a little bit more breathing space compared to other maps. But I get it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and hopefully we get to see that come back into the map pool later down the year, maybe very soon, much more sooner than expected. Hopefully we get to see that. But I do believe we have the game ready to get started. We're wasting no time here, Clash, and we're going to be jumping straight on in. It's going to be starting all the way from Primorsk and going to be ending towards Milta Power. That is, of course, the plain path, and we have the 16 teams numbered there for your convenience. It's going to be APES starting, taking the 5th slot rather, and we have Team NTE taking slot number 20, and they're going to be dropping pretty early by the looks of it. Any particular team you want to keep an eye out here, or do you have any inkling or any idea where any certain teams really do like to play?
You know what? I just want to start really blindly, maybe because it's the first game. I just want to play blindly here. And talking about the plain path, I can see 2 teams. Maybe somebody's going to go to the military island. Novoripnoi, nobody's going to go there. And The northern side of this map is really beautiful. Lots of teams will be heading towards that place. It's actually a good playing path. We could see some late games, action, but yeah, it looks good.
It looks good right now. And a circle is definitely going to be favoring most of these teams, right? They're going to be, most of them dropped early towards Quarry, some of them heading up north towards Hospital, towards the Georgie area. And the only couple of teams, you did say no one really likes dropping towards Novo, but I clearly see a couple of teams that they're feeling adventurous here. As we have an early skirmish breaking out, we have Team Wonkru's. I do believe that's... I couldn't make out a name there, but one solitary player, and he's going to make a run, Rohan, and he's going to make a run for it. And they're not going to go for the hunt. That's interesting. Yeah. They had a chance there to get a free kill, and they just going to let him go.
They had a vehicle as well. If in case they had to do that, look at that. Oh, he's got his team right now.
That's interesting, right? That's very interesting. Like, you have a free kill right there. And speaking of free kills, or rather a free knock early on, we do see a knock taking place. One of the Mongolian players getting taken down early on. But it's just a knock, though. He still have his teammates nearby in order to go for the res. But early action breaking out, and that makes me happy.
He will survive. I thought nobody was going to go here when the Nova Ripnoy, but turns out we have two teams and taking those early fights on. That is something I was not expecting. Anyways, the player from the VelociRaptors will be revived, and look at these containers. So many loots over here in the Nova Ripnoy. Two teams, it's completely okay,
Yeah,
Nova Ripnoy, two teams. Yeah, they've got plenty of loot.
They have plenty of loot. Of course, with a circle, which is definitely not favoring them at the moment, they would be looking to migrate to safer spots as soon as possible. For the time being, they're going to be very comfortable here. I do believe it's Team Equinox and Team 13. I'm still trying to get the hang of the names here. Team 13, of course, VelociRaptor, and then of course we have their neighbors nearby. Not really friendly neighbors. So we have Team Equinox 922. I wonder what that stands for. 922. That's just it's not 911. It's 922. I'm not too sure what that really means, but hey, maybe someone in the chat could let us know. Maybe one of these teams, hopefully, if they do qualify in an interview, they could let us know what these names stand for. I personally enjoy it, right? Like, there is a certain joy in watching known teams play because you know how they like to play. There's a lot of hype behind these teams, and the storylines already kind of laid out and can build onto that. At the same time, having these teams which you don't really know much about, I have an open mind, and I'm like, you know what? I want to see one of these guys really step on up and impress everyone. Now, Team Hype is a team that you have pointed out, and it's a name I am aware of as well, that they would at least based on the name would be looking to surprise all of us, and not surprise all of us, rather they would be looking to perform as we would expect them to at least qualify to the playoffs. But apart from them, any other teams who you have an eye on, at least in the server right now?
Well, maybe Nepal Esports. We've seen them play before, VelociRaptors as well. But as I told you before, anything can happen. This is the first day. These teams out here, they will be weighing other opponents. That's what I think. They will be trying to get as many information as possible from the opponents, so that they can play some good games in the upcoming matches, which is definitely going to be really important for them. And if we talk about Yasna here, we have a team down here, PeaklySeven, Sneak, and they're just chilling out. Nobody's there except PeaklySeven. And these teams, the first phase of the game is always about looting and everything. They've got the vehicle as well, so it looks good for these teams. Epic Ambition with this Coriel, wow, he's got some good loot. I think this is the same spot where the player from Wonkru almost got killed, or maybe he survived.
Well, so far, though, we really haven't seen too many casualties. Although 14 teams and in a server, and we have 55. That's an odd number. Someone's died somewhere. Maybe we didn't notice it. I'm curious to know what really happened over there. But still early days. Still not much taking place. Pochinki, it's the apes. They're running around, grunting, swinging from the trees. Hold on, there are not too many trees for them to swing around. But these are smart apes. They can drive. And clearly much better drivers than I am. They're going to have the free reign of Pochinki. We have team number 18 as well over here. Let's take a look at the name. That is, of course, EpicGaming. which is kind of obvious because they have Epic in the name. But it's kind of interesting how some of the abbreviations of some of these team names, it has nothing to do with their actual name, which makes it so confusing at times.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about the circle, it's about to close now. We have a couple of teams towards the George Bull Containers and also George Bull Apartment at the moment. I think they are, chilling out at the moment, which is completely okay. But after the next circle, they have to leave that place. They cannot stay there forever. Gatka, we can't see anybody in the Gatka, and lots of teams inside the circle. And talking about the breeze itself, I think we will be seeing a couple of teams trying to breach camp, we could say that. Yeah, maybe they can...
Bridge camp, something I'm a big fan of.
Probably we can see that somewhere around the military base. So look at these teams here. They are all, prepared. Wonkru. Yeah,
they are waiting. They are waiting for that eventual transition for some of these teams over the bridge. If we could maybe, production, if you can help me out here and just show the minimap real quickly so we can take a look at how the teams are setting up for the initial circle. We can have an idea as to how these teams are kind of going to be waiting at it. There we go. Thank you very much, production. We can see early migration already. No one really looking to stick around towards a bridge. We, of course, have Team TG. I think that's Nightmare. I'm not too sure which team that is towards Military Island. They're looking pretty comfortable at the moment. They don't really have to budge yet. It's about which side the circle kind of gravitates towards later on, right? There is a real world. There is a real possibility that this could head down south to its military base, in which case that bridge, like you pointed out earlier, Clash, it could be the bridge of death. It could be the bridge of tears for a lot of these teams. Or it could even be, I mean, I would love to see it. I really doubt it's going to happen, but I would love to see a bridge circle as well. You rarely see any of those nowadays. But I'm going to ask you to take out your fortune teller ball, your 8-bit ball or whatever, and give me a prediction. Which way do you think the circle is going to be heading towards?
Well, I think it will head towards the northern island there. I don't know why.
Wow, you're just going for the safe pick. You're not even trying. Yeah. You're just playing it safe. You're not much of a gambler, are you?
No, I'm not. But that's what I feel, That's my gut's feeling. That's what my guts say right now. But let's see how it's going to go. Because, since the military island, that area is really small, I think players here, they are pretty much unknown where the next circle is going to shift, and they're all gathering to that breeze, which could be chaotic in a moment because you never know where to go. You have to stay there on the breeze. If the circle shifts towards the southern side, they have to move, and they have to do it early before their enemy does.
They do indeed. No, we do have a drop taking place as well. Groza being dropped. A little bit of a skirmish breaking out here. It's going to be nobody from Team Hype. Rattling off a few bullets, but not quite able to get the killing blow onto the Nightmare player that's going to be Dexter. And he's gonna yeet all the way off to his lab as Team Hype. They're just laying claim to this patch of land. Just letting everyone know that they are present here. They have the weapons to work with, and they are going to be they're not going to be shying away from taking any fights here. And for Team Nightmare, for Dexter, he's just going to heal up. He's going to be waiting for his teammates to arrive. Right now, he does have RSI to help him out right now, or Yersi. I'm not too sure to pronounce his name, but he does have his couple of teammates nearby as well. But the question is, Team Hype, are they going to be going for the hunt here this early?
I don't think they're going to do that. Because, what I think is every teams out here, they will be playing semi-aggressive. They're not going to go all out right off the bat, They'll measure the teams. They'll take a closer look at their opponents, where they are, how they're going to do. And talking about Team Hive, they are pretty much against... I think they're going after Team NTE there. Dexter definitely took some damage there from Team Hype's Nobody. And these two teams, they're really close to each other. That compound is really close to each other. And Assault here with the Iscariel. It's pretty much good location for Team Hype to stay for the moment because Circle is upon them. They're in the dead center of the circle as well. Nothing to worry about. It's looking pretty good. And also Team NTE, they know there are players right on that hill. Look at that. Nobody. Ooh, is he going to make the shot? No, he's not.
He's being very patient about it. He's being very patient, still scoping it out. And now he takes a shot. Unfortunately, the M24, it will not find its mark. And nobody, well, I'm sure he heard the bullet just whiz past his head, and now he's going to be ducking underneath the crest of the hill, not really looking to take the fight. But NTE showing that they're not just going to cow away from the fight. And if they're going to be taking a few bullets, they're going to be dealing a bit of damage. They're going to be looking to dish out a bit of damage on their own. But for the time being, the Clash, I feel like everyone's just going to be waiting out the next circle. They're not really looking to be adventurous here. We have the next circle coming on in. Maybe you can take a look at it on the mini map, or rather on the big map, I guess. Is it called? Yeah. I mean, I know people call it mini map, but when you expand it out all over the screen, is it really mini though? Right? I have my questions about that.
It's actually the bigger version of the mini map when you expand it.
Just the map in that case, I guess.
Say that.
We do see a drop in the distance. Archer spots it out, but it's a little too far away from him for him to really head towards. And he does spot out a player there from, I do believe that is Team Nepal Esports. And he is going to be conveying the information to his teammates. So if you could take a look at the circle real quickly. There we go. Production. Right on point. We have the circle shrinking in further. This is the second one, mind you. And we see almost everyone kind of in the safe, in the safety of the zone. But in the next few seconds, it's going to shift drastically. And you did point out, you did say, Clash, that you believe that your gut told you it was going to be a northern circle, and well, your gut was right. You have great gut bacteria.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I'm pretty much good at guessing the circles, and that's a really hard shift. Oh my god, Team Hype talking about Team Hype. I told you they were pretty safe. They were playing safe game there. They don't want to rotate. It seems they knew where the circle was going to go. They're looking pretty good. And we have a couple of teams down here towards the military breeze there. There's a drop nearby. Wonkru ignore. Oh, some shots being fired. I can hear some shots. That's Wonkru again. I think they're going to go for the drop. Who knows? Maybe Wonkru might give some trouble to Team Gravity right ahead of them. They're there in the gas station. DP28. Are they going to move? Oh, yeah. They're simply going to leave this place. It seems they've got that vehicle ready to move, bounce off from here. 18 more seconds. That's all they have. And there they go. They don't want to take any risk staying outside that, open spaces that are down there, outside the circle, of course.
They are taking a few shots, though, but considering they have controlled this compound, and more importantly, this compound is in the safe zone, so they have that to work with. For the side of Team Gravity, they have a drop, they have the Groza, they have those level 3 goodies, but they need to kind of head towards a safe zone, and they need to make a bit of haste here. The circle is certainly moving in. Got a bit of a suit as well to work with.
Oh, I'm sorry. Talking about the circle, we have a team who is currently at the blue. That's the VelociRaptors. They're currently taking the military base, and look at that. A player was knocked down just a second ago, and he's back. I think they're going to use that vehicle to move around, but that's going to be really tricky for them as well, because there are a couple of teams to the other side of that military breeze, and it seems they're moving now. But, for me, if I have to predict what the VelociRaptors are going to do next, they're going to go all the way. They might go all the way to the other side of the military base, and they might engage with the players who is waiting for them. That's Nepal Esports and also Team Wonkru right ahead of them. If they cross that breeze, they can find the players. Some shots being fired here by Yocto E-Sport. That's Sugar Daddy with the M4. Oh! Some shots being taken down.
Yep, and this is kind of like a fight between 3 teams, a triangle of death, some people might say. And for the time being, they're just taking the shots as we have Cyrene taking a knock onto Team Ignore. Asuna will be finished off. That's first blood. Ooh. That is first blood. It took a while. It took a while for the first kill in the server, and it is going to be a player from the Mongolian team to be knocked out. And, well, he's going to stay down as well. For the time being, still just the 1 casualty. It has been a very, very slow start to the game, a very, very slow start to the tournament, to the group stage here of the PMCO Wildcard. But as the safe ground starts to diminish further, it's going to get hectic. Smoke's being deployed as well by Team Nightmare. They want to obscure the vision. They're still in a safe zone. There's no real need to take a fight. But then again, look at the next circle. This is rough for team number 16. That's Yocto. You pointed out they were taking a few bullets earlier, but now they're outside the safe zone. The problem is there are 2 teams, Clash, who's going to be playing gatekeepers, and that's not something they're going to be happy with if you are a member from Team Yocto.
Definitely not. I would rather take a long rotation, from the western side, trying to make a huge flank completely to the eastern side of the map. But anyways, there are lots of teams. We still have 14 teams alive in the battlefield. So wherever they want to go, they have to be careful. They cannot simply take a huge leap regarding the rotation as well. So talking about the VelociRaptors here, they made it inside the play zone, but they are in trouble. They are being shot down from both of these directions. That's a team Gravity with an nade. Is he going to throw it? No. He just cooked it. Maybe he just missed those footsteps. He's going to put those grenades. He's going to save those grenades for the late game.
Yeah, and that ghillie suit's might come in handy, especially looking at the terrain right now where he's running around. And VelociRaptor are in quite a dangerous spot right now. It's an asteroid heading their way. Nice trade taking place from Hitman, but he is still getting hunted down. It's going to be Wiz jumping and gunning, and VelociRaptor, they are slowly but surely becoming extinct. I do believe they have just one player remaining standing here, and yeah, they are going in for the kill. They are going in for the hunt, and Team Gravity, they're going to finish it off, and that's going to be VelociRaptor. They're going to go the way of the dinosaurs, and they are going to be the first team to be eliminated here in the PMCO Wildcard.
Yes, indeed. I thought they took a lot more, they spent a lot more time outside that blue zone. They should have entered the circle while they could earlier, but I think they just entered the circle really, really late, and they have to fight with those teams who were already inside the circle as well. And unfortunately, they've been eliminated from the game. So Team Hype, they're actually fighting with Team Nepal Esports as well, and Yocto. I think they made it inside. Oh no, they're still outside the circle.
They're still outside. And the problem is, look at that circle. Look at the safe zone. Look at how many teams there are. So Yocto might go for the long route, and that's a smart call in my opinion. The problem is there's so many teams at the periphery, at the edge of that safe zone, that it's not going to be easy no matter which direction they head into. And the two teams you pointed out, Clash, Hype and Nepal Esports, they're going at each other, as we do have Team TG versus Team TK. They're duking it out. A few knocks here and there. But so far, none of these teams have really suffered any crazy casualties, apart from VelociRaptor getting knocked out there.
Yeah, they've been completely wiped out. It's really unfortunate for the team to be eliminated with with no points at all. Placement points at all. That's really sad.
Yocto.
That's Yocto. They've been taking huge damage there. Nobody with the DP28. So Team Hype, they're still here holding on to these high grounds, we can say that, and they're still inside the circle as well. And the fact about this play zone is nobody's going towards the dead center. Everybody's at the periphery of the circle, which is kind of interesting to see. We have a couple of knocks coming in again. Hype nobody, he got knocked down instead by Bay with the M4. Nero is also here, look at that. He will definitely revive his teammate Nobody, but a couple of smoke, come on, you have to throw a couple of smoke, or else you could be in a huge trouble.
They could indeed be in some huge trouble, as we do, like you pointed out, a couple of teams getting knocked out there. Sorry, one team getting knocked out, but we did lose a couple of players. Team Yocto, they went all around avoiding that huge fight. Instead, they walked straight into the lion's den of Team Hype. And Team Hype, I'm sure they have a couple of kills to their name by now. We see the circle that's out in the plains, out in the fields. Not much of terrain to work with, and that's going to be quite problematic. Because look at the number of teams outside the circle. So many of them in a rough spot. As Hazza is going to get a knock onto a member from Team Hype. And finally, another team taking the battle to Hype. And look at White from APES. He's not in the trees. He's amongst the grass. But he's slowly creeping on up. And I don't think anyone from Team Equinox has spotted him out.
It looks like he's ready to strike. Is he? Going slowly. Look at that. White. Really, really slowly. Oh, is he going to shoot? No, I don't think he's going to shoot. Archer didn't even spotted him yet. Oh my goodness. A single nade inside that sack could end up 2 players from Team Equinox. And 3 kills, TZ Optus, wow. So these guys are playing down here. Oh, Yocto Bay, he's been taken down as well. Team Hype, they've been eliminated in 13th place. And that's the kind of situation.
That's a favorite.
Yeah.
That's a favorite, getting taken out this early.
And they were actually trying to hold on to those open spaces for too long. They were actually being surrounded by lots of teams, and unfortunately, they got eliminated.
You did say the nade from White, and he did toss a nade in the direction of Equinox, and Archer's down. He's going to be tossing in another one,
yes,
and that's going to finish off the player. And now Doki from Equinox, he knows there's someone nearby, and the apes all together, they're going to rush on in, and White is running on top of him. Bullets straight in the noggin, and that's going to be Doki getting taken out here. At least a trade does take place from Wonkru from across the field, knocking down Doki. And I do believe he took him out as well. So Apes, They did manage to get a couple of kills, but they in turn will suffer a few casualties. And right now for Team NTE, Dexter, he's the lone man standing while his teammates are just slowly bleeding out in the grass. It's not looking good for Team NTE.
And I don't think he's going to go out there to help his teammate out as well. That would be a suicidal thing to do. Because both of these players, they are down, and P7, they're actually gatekeeping. They're actually baiting those two players. If somebody tries to revive them, he will definitely be taking those players down. And we have a couple of shots being, a couple of fights going on towards the northwestern side of the map as well. Lots of teams getting eliminated one after another. Dexter, finally, he's been eliminated, and that's the end for Team Nightmare. We have Ignore here, and P7, they're trying to take control. Maybe they're trying to play a little safer. They're still throwing a couple of nades, and I thought they were trying to throw that nade for the Nightmares, but instead they were already taken. They've been already taken down. That's Ignore, by the way, who took the damage there.
Team Ignore has actually been, if you just keep an eye on what's happening to Killfeed, they've been getting a lot of knocks. And how many nades are being tossed in right now? Haza, he's taking a bit of damage, and he is not looking good at the moment. A lot of knocks taking place as Team Ignore to just crouch down the smoke. Critter, he is going to have some cover for the time being. And Apes, together, they are strong. They are getting a lot of kills as Hype from Team 9, that is PeaklySeven, tossing in a well-placed nade, and that is perfection. Clutch will fall. A follow-up nade as well to finish up the job. Maybe? No, he doesn't need to, because he spots out Clutch's knees coming out from the edge of the smoke, and he is going to take a few more bullets to his body. A follow-up nade from Hypes. This could be a free couple of kills here for Team 9, as we have another team getting knocked out. That is going to be Team Kangaroo, who will unfortunately say goodbye. We're down to the final 8 teams. Make that 7 teams, as Team Ignore has been knocked out as well. 17 left alive, and Team Apes, they're strong right now because they have all 4 members still up and running.
Yes, indeed. And also Nepal Esports, look at that, 7 points for them. Oh, there's another nade as well. Lots of grenade moments coming in from these teams. Apes, I don't know what they are doing. They're just doing pretty good with those grenades, killing one after another. It's crazy. Now we are down to 5 teams only. 2 players alive. Oh, that's a soak from Team Nepal Esports. Spots a player, and that's going to be confirmed. I think they just got 8 points by killing players all around the map here. P7 still holding on to their ground.
He's all alone, though. Ashok from Nepal Esports, he is the lone man standing at the moment, and unfortunately for him, fortunately for him right now, I do believe... No, he's outside the safe zone. He has to go for a play here. And unfortunately, that's going to be the end for Nepal Esports. However, 8 kills, that's nothing to scoff at. That's a huge number of kills, a decent number of points as well. But now, Epic coming under fire once more from the Kings of the Jungle at the moment. Team Apes, they are on a tear at the moment.
Of course, they really are. And Team Epic, they are in a huge trouble. It seems, every single teams are inside the circle at the moment, but... the next circle is about to begin, and they have to leave their comfort zone. P7, they only have 3 players there. They try to hold on to their ground as long as they could. That's Ape's squad. And look at that. Wonkru, no mercy, really close to him. I don't think Apes knows there is a player to their right.
I don't think they do. And Wonkru, all they have to do right now is just lie prone, wait for everyone else to finish each other off. We're down to final 9 alive, of which 4 of them are the Apes. And for the remaining teams, we have 1 alive from EpicGaming, we have 1 alive from Team Wonkru, and 3 alive for, I do believe that's the 4th team. I missed what the name was there, but circle's going to shrink in further, and this is smack in the center once more. Yeah, I do... yeah, it's PeaklySeven, my bad. They have 3 standing. Now, Apes, what are they going to do? They can wait this one out, but the problem is the safe zone right now, it's out in the open. Just a couple of trees for cover, maybe a hay bale or 2. So who's going to make a move? It's going to be Ape Sanchir. He's going to ride on around, but it's going to be No Mercy who's going to make contact, and he's going to net the knock, and Mercy down to just 10 points of health, but he's now given up his position, and unfortunately for him, that's going to be calling the Apes onto where he is, and for how much longer can he stay alive is the question, because he's out in the open, and his position, it's compromised, and the nade is perfection. Hustler will take him out, and that's going to be the Mongolian team getting to, I don't know, kill number 10 by now. They're just rampaging throughout this entire map.
Yeah, we're now down to 3 teams, and then Apes with those grenades. Wow, what an amazing grenades. I believe they've killed 3 or more people with the grenades itself. Now that's Ape White. That's a beautiful knock. Hype has been knocked down from PeaklySeven. I think that's a nade coming in again. Look at that. They're using those nades one after another to kill enemies all around them. And I believe Team Epic, they've only got one player alive, and he's just chilling out just behind that broken Dacia. He's just waiting for these teams, to kill each other, and maybe he will join in the fight later on.
Domi's he just playing the long game, isn't he? He's like, you know what? It's fine. I'm just gonna wait for a few more seconds. The circle still gonna take its time to shrink in, and he doesn't even have to really leg it. He can still creep on up. There's a bit of cover, some bushes to work with. There's a tree as well between him and team number 9. That is, of course, PeaklySeven. The problem is those 3 apes, or rather 4 apes. I do believe they have all 4 still standing for the side of the apes, and that is a problem. Domi is just waiting for P7 and the apes to just duke it out and whittle away the numbers so he can just jump on in and then finish off the remaining stragglers.
You know what? I don't think Domi's going to step out from his comfort zone just yet. I don't think he's going to do that. He will let these 2 teams to fight first, and whoever wins, maybe he will be fighting with the remaining players here. And talking about Team Apes, they've been throwing lots of grenades, and I believe Team PeaklySeven, they need some more smoke as well. Look at that. There's another nade coming in from Sanchir. Is it going to touch anybody? Is that a nade or a smoke? I thought there was a nade going towards Snake from P7 for Team PeaklySeven, but no. Domi, look at that. He's really close to that blue zone.
He has so much information to work with, right? And he's probably licking his lips like, I can just take a shot right now. But patience is key. He needs to wait this one out. Like, he's just one man against, 7 players. As Sneaks is going to get taken out by Suncheer and Apes. Still 4 men standing and White out in the open. That's a very, very brave call from White, and he will be knocked down. I don't see a res coming his way anytime soon, but Kanik is going to finish off Sneaks, and now it's a 4v2v1. Is Domi going to go for a play is the question. He's still creeping around, still hasn't shown his position. It's down to the final 7 players left alive on Erangel.
Come on, this is the 8th circle, 28 minutes in the game.
Domi's done.
Domi, oh no, he's been eliminated. He just compromised his location, he's been eliminated. Now it's down to 2v4 apes. They've got 1 player down, but it seems they're going to be reviving their teammates. Oh, that's a beautiful Molotov, by the way. That could be it for the game. Both of them are in the Molotov. What are they doing? Come on, step out of it.
Oh, this is so painful.
Oh my goodness, that was really close call. 1 single Molotov. That definitely gave them a lot more damage. Apes with the chicken dinner. The first chicken dinner of the day here in Erangel. That was crazy.
That was a wild game. Total damage at 2,000 points, 11 kills. Sure, they didn't reach the 20 kill tally, which I really wanted to see someone big. But 26 total points to open up their campaigns here in the PMCO Wildcard. Like, if I'm the Apes, I'm feeling very happy. Even Domi, shout out to him. Shout out to him for just like staying alive there for so very long, just playing the cover, not really showing himself, and at least guaranteeing his team a top 3 placing. That was a good start to the entire tournament here, if you ask me, Clash. It was a slow start, but when the action picked up, it was just nades everywhere.
Yeah, players were being eliminated one after another. That was really close. And Apes, oh my goodness. It looked like they didn't need any ammunition, no bullets, so we just need nades. We're gonna throw nades after nades for you guys, and that last Molotov, perfect.
Perfection. Just great utility usage coming in from almost all the teams, it felt like. But the couple of big disappointments here was Team Hype. I mean, they were in the midst of the action initially, and then they kind of just dropped off. Like, they weren't able to really take all those fights simultaneously, because let's be real, there was a lot of action happening in all directions for the team. But I guess a bit of a disappointment for some of the Team Hype fans.
Definitely. They got eliminated in 13th place, and they were actually being surrounded by 3 or 4 teams while they were trying to hold on to that exact same location. I think they stayed there way too long. They tried to hold on to that place way too long. They should have moved with the circle itself. And they got eliminated.
Yeah, maybe they should have. But let's take a look at, of course, the MVP players as the MVP and the players, the top players of the game. And we have, surprise, surprise, it is going to be from Team Apes. It's going to be Sanchir, 3 kills to his name, 759 points of damage, just a 1 assist, and of course 180 points of healing done. And we take a look at the top players so far in this game. And I don't think anyone's going to be surprised to see the majority of the top players being from Team Apes.
Could be, because they've got 11 kills. I think the second team who got more kills, other than really close to the Apes, was Nepal Esports. I think they got 8 kills before they got eliminated. Yeah, and these Apes, wow.
We can probably take a look at the Apes Together Strong. Apes Together Strong indeed. As we take a look, of course, I do believe that is going to be the match right now. We can take a look at the overall standings once we finish up with with at least a couple of games. We can take a look at the top 5 players here of the day. Of course, Sancho is going to be one of them. And apart from that, we have Apes White as well, 4 kills. We have Nepal Esports, like you pointed out, they didn't get a top 3 or a top 4 placing, but 5 kills is still 5 kills for Ashok, and we have Hustler from Apes with 3 kills as well. So yeah, Apes all around, Apes Together Strong, and of course we have Ashok joining them in the top 4 leaderboard.
Yes, indeed. And Sanchir, look at the damage he's done, 759, but only 3 kills. He must be really disappointed with that.
Well, I mean, if your team's
700 plus damage.
if you're still gonna get to chicken dinner and over 10 kills in total for your team, like 11 kills in total, I think you're still gonna be pretty happy with that. But anything which stood out for you this game, considering it's the first game of the the wildcard region and all of that?
Well, I actually love the way they played. They started really slow. There were a couple of players who were down there in the military island and also in the noble. I guessed the right play zone as well.
The play zone was interesting.
Everything was going good, but later on it was really, really chaotic. Just because every single team, they were playing really passive in the early stage of the game. The chaotic end had to be there.
All right, indeed, the chaotic end had to be there. Let's take a look at the game standings, though. I do believe we have it as it is at the moment. The match summary, actually. Oh, yeah, this is the match summary, of course. Apologies for that. We have Ashok from Nepal Esports, the highest number of kills, 5 kills in total, taking the, doing the brunt of the damage for his team. We have White and Sanchir with the longest, the 284-meter kill. We have Sanchir with the highest damage, like you pointed out earlier, Clash. And then we have Hazard, who travel a lot, by the way. 13,000 meters traveled by the man in that half an hour of action. And then Kanik, well, he might not have had all the kills, but 5 assists, man. He had 0 kills, but 5 assists. He is a team player.
Yes, of course. Apes everywhere.
Everywhere. You gotta love them. Hazza from Team Gravity. Team Gravity were in the kill feed on not the receiving end, rather on the dealing end many of the time. So it's a little disappointing for me that they kind of met an early end to the nades. Hopefully we're gonna see more from them. They seem like a team who really did enjoy taking a lot of these fights, and I do believe we should have the match, the standings as it is, hopefully very quickly, so we can take a look at how it stands at the end of game 1 over here. Again, reminding everyone, it's 20 games in total. 24 games in total, 6 days of action, 4 games back-to-back, so every game's matter. Apes coming out on top, 26 points, it's a 10-point lead over PeaklySeven, who had only 4 kills, but they got the placement points right there. EpicGaming coming in third, all thanks to their teammate. Nepal Esports is missing out the top 3 placing just by 1 point. However, they get those 8 kills. Actually, no, they came 6th in placements, but still 8 kills to the name. And then as we head on down, VelociRaptor, Rough Time, Hype, just 1 kill. Just going to be shocking for them. We have Yocto, we have WCKTM Rage, Team Ignore, and Nightmare to kind of fill up the remaining spots. But still, Clash, I know you might have had a rough start for some of these teams here, but still, you have 9 more opportunities.
Oh, yes, we have. This is the starting of the first day here, first game of course, and I loved it, but I really feel bad for VelociRaptors because they were struggling to take that play zone after they crossed that military breeze, and I believe that was Team Gravity who took them down. That was really, really unfortunate for them. I really feel bad for them as well. And also Team Hype, they stayed cool. They stayed there for that, in that compound pretty good. But later on, they got surrounded, we can say that. They got eliminated in the same spot, couldn't get as many kills as we were expecting. I believe lots of teams, lots of viewers were expecting that, okay, these teams is going to do something, they must have some kind of expectation from the teams regarding the kills and everything, but it seems they're just warming up.
Maybe they're just warming up. Maybe some teams need that. I need my cup of coffee. Maybe a cup of coffee as well. It's still early in the day for some of these teams. Let's take a look at the schedule for the day. For those of you just tuning on in, wondering where we are right now, we of course have 4 maps to be played today. Here, game number 1 was on Erangel. That's done and dusted. Coming up next, it's going to be the hot and tropical climate of Sanhok, followed by the dry and dusty bowl of Miramar, and then of course close things out. It's going to be full circle once more, ending on Erangel. Sanhok is going to be the one coming up. Any quick thoughts on Sanhok before we cut to a very quick break? Flash.
Well, it's a very small map. That's here in the competitive in PUBG Mobile, of course, and we might see, everybody says we could see snakes, but that's reality. We will definitely see some snakes down there.
You might see some snakes down there. That's something you have to be careful when you go to these tropical islands, especially. But you know what? We're going to be finding out how many snakes are going to be there on Sanhok very, very shortly after a quick break. There's no stopping the hype train as we're going to be jumping straight on in onto Sanhok, the second game of the day, the second game of the PMCO Wildcard. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Blair, and joining me again is going to be ClashBot Clash. It was a very quick break, but I hope you grabbed your coffee.
Yes, I just might have sipped a couple of them.
Just a couple of shots of espresso. That's what you need, right?
Yes, we need. So this is we'll be going towards this Sanhok, which is definitely going to be interesting. What do you think is going to happen here? How many snakes do you think will be there?
Listen, I don't like snakes, all right? They're creepy, they crawl around, and they bite you. And it's not fun when they bite you. But hopefully we get to see a little bit more of earlier action breaking out here in Sanhok. That's something which you tend to see depending on how the circle is going to be playing out early on. We can see a few teams getting knocked out early on. Maybe we could be seeing a different start to this game compared to what we saw in Erangel, where I think it was like at least 20 minutes, or at least 15 minutes before we saw any team getting knocked out or any one getting knocked out from the server. So might be some early action breaking out here when some of these teams start to feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more warmed up. But if you're Team Apes right now, you're feeling mighty happy. Like you have a 9-point lead over the second place team, and you're top of the Kings of the Hill right now. Everyone seems to be firing off on all cylinders. It's not a one-man show, and that's one thing I enjoyed about Team Apes. It's how everyone seems to show up. Now, whether they're going to be showing up or not, we're going to be fanning out here on Sanhok as we're going to be jumping straight on in. And it is going to be a path where it basically bisects the map clean in half.
It's completely divided into two different sections. What a map. What a plain pad it is, all the way heading towards Sami from Mungnai, and people, they will be going, I think they will be heading, some people, they will be heading towards Hatin. Cow could be captured as well, and do you think anybody's going to go there towards Cave?
I don't know. I don't know what anyone's going to be doing. I wouldn't lie here. I'm actually going to be waiting out for a couple of days before I start to, have an inkling or an idea as to how some of these planes, how some of these teams and how some of these players like to play. We can see the teams kind of spreading out here, pretty evenly all over the map. No one really opting to go towards Camp Bravo or Mongnai, however. But as we take a look at a circle, it's a pretty comfortable circle here. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Majority of it being towards the eastern, the big eastern island. Most of the teams are going to be very comfortable, especially Team NTE are going to be feeling very comfortable there. There's no one in the vicinity. There's no one for them to really contend with early on, and everyone's kind of spread, like I pointed out, pretty evenly. So once more, we might be seeing a very slow start to the game.
And that's actually three teams. If you take a closer look at the map, that's actually three teams towards Camp Alpha. I don't know what they're doing, but there's not enough loot for three teams. What are they doing? Come on, split up. You have to find some other location. Apes, however, they're really close as well. Wonkru, they've got some company real close, and look at that, Apes White. He was the one who is proning and crawling right towards that sack in the previous game. I think he's going to find somebody there. That's Hype, a player from Team Hype. Spike 1 inside the building.
And he's alone.
Ooh, yeah, he's alone. But his teammate is not that far away as well. If he gets knocked down, I think he will have some backup. Oh, that's a beautiful UMP45. Knocks him down perfectly. I think he's going to go for the kill. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody was, Team Hype's nobody. He had complete... he had that visibility from up that higher ground.
Does it really matter though? Because Hustler's there to go for the res, and like you pointed out, nobody. He got the trade. He got a trade knock, and Suncher out in the open. Suncher, you got to be more aware of their butt. And now with him down on his knees, it's going to come down to Hustler to ensure that nobody doesn't really get up to any shenanigans. Nobody doing a smart play, pushing on into the hut to try and get the res on. And White, he needs to heal himself. Unfortunately, considering how early it is in the game, he doesn't have any kits, he doesn't have any meds to work with, but he is cocking the nade. We've seen how much damage his nades can deal. He's going to toss on in, and the nade's not going to find anyone, and he's going to get circled from around, and it's going to be nobody who's going to finish off the job. He gets the kill, and Team Hype, despite taking the first knock, they're going to come out on top. Both the players make that 3 players from Team Apes, 2 of them knocked out, and one of them knocked out of the server, and Sanjay bleeding, crawling towards his teammate. That's Connect, and Team Hype, they are on a tear right now. They're looking to get that kill, and that's 3 kills. And Team Hype showing that game 1 was a bit of a fluke. That sure, they might have had a terrible game 1 on Erangel, but Sanhok, if you're going to come knocking at the door, you best be ready, because Team Hype right now, they're ready to play.
Yeah, it looked like the first game for Team Hype was a warm-up game, and they are pretty much warm up now. Apes, however, they got that chicken dinner in the first game. Now they're down to only one player. That's way too early for these teams to pick up those fights. And come on, what are you doing? Just loot, don't fight. Yeah, it's good to watch these teams fight early on, but I don't think it's a good idea for any of these teams to be eliminated way too early in the game itself. And we also have two teams down here, VR, Hitman. They got eliminated way too early in the previous round. I hope they don't engage in any kind of battle. Team Hype, however, they are in a rush. They want to get some more kills as well. That's Team Gravity, by the way. Gibby with M416 knocks him down. Nobody is in a domination. He's been killing one after another.
He is indeed. And yeah, Team Hype, they seem to have got a bit of a bloodlust going for them. They got that 3 kill onto Team Apes, who were the chicken dinner winners from the previous game. And like you pointed out, they are looking for more. Assault was knocked down, but the rest comes on in. And of course, considering how many kills they've gotten so far, they have enough loot and definitely enough meds to work with. And Team Gravity are just noping the hell out of that fight. They got the knock, and they're like, you know what? It's not worth taking this fight. They just leg it. And indeed, they shall. They've already lost Octus and Wiz, which is unfortunate, and down to just a Whisper and Givy. And right now, it's a game of playing the odds, a game of trying to not bleed out any more players and try and play the placement points. Team Hype, though, 5 kills to their name in a span of, well, less than 5 minutes, if you ask me. They looted up, all 4 players healthy, up and running. And it's a fantastic start for Team Hype, considering they would have disappointed themselves and even a lot of their fans as well from their opening show, their opening game here. We do have a drop taking place, an M249, 8x scope.
Wow.
There we go.
8x scope in Sanhok. Oh, I don't want to use that 8x scope in Sanhok. But it's a small map. Why do we need 8x?
Well, I mean,
is fine.
fair enough, but you do want 8x at times. Just stare straight into the soul of your opponents as you riddle them with holds. Circles shrinking on in, and one thing which always catches me off guard. And what is going on? Matt Temper runs straight into Kanik, the lone ape remaining. And that's a free kill for Kanik. Unfortunately, that also means that his position is compromised. He's not going to be wasting any time. Immediately leaves the house and waits outside for any members from team from the player he knocked down, he took down, to come on in to get some vengeance. But for the time being, they realize it's not really worth it. They don't really have much information as to where he might be. They know he was in the apartments. From then on, he could have gone anywhere. So Team Wonkru, they're going to play this one safe. They're going to gather up together, and they might just let this one go. They've lost a player, but that's fine. Sometimes it's just worth letting a fight go. Nepal Esports placing 4th in the previous game. They had a number of kills, 8 kills in total, second highest in the game earlier. They'll be looking for a good start here, considering how Team Hype have gone off to a fantastic start. As we take a look at the circle, and it's gonna not really be too crazy. Everyone's gonna be pretty comfortable with this.
Yes, indeed. And nobody's there in the boot camp. Nobody jumped there. It seems Team Hype might join the boot camp later on, but look at the teams towards the eastern side of the map. That's about 5 or 6 teams, and Team Hype, they're closing in to those teams. VelociRaptors, Ignore, Nightmares, Team TK, PeaklySeven, everybody's close by. Once their location is compromised, I don't think the opponent is going to hold back shooting those bullets. They will definitely go after those kills, because, come on, 1 kill, 1 point. That's really insane. And Kanik is in the trouble as well, because Wonkru is closing in. He must have he just compromised his location, and Wonkru, they are after him. However, Kanik, he could be surprising his enemy once more.
Yeah, Wonkru looking for that trade. I like how Wonkru didn't rush for it. They worked together as a unit, and now they found their comrade's fallen body, and they're like, wait, they haven't even looted him. His body's, he still has all the loot. That means it's probably just 1 or 2 players nearby. And if they've been keeping an eye on the kill feed, they should be aware that Kanik is all by his lonesome. And Kanik, he's gonna be crapping some bricks right now. He can hear all this commotion. He can see the fact that they are very much nearby. And if he takes his fight, he's done for. Like, he might be able to get a knock, but I doubt it's going to be even able to find a kill, considering the trade is going to be almost immediate. But hold on. We have a bit of a battle breaking out, and Cairo has naded himself. That is unfortunate.
What is going on here?
What is going on? Kangaroo! The marsupials have been taken down, and that's rough indeed. Down to just 2 members now. And Team P7, PeaklySeven, bear in mind, they came second in the previous game. They're going to be very happy with that. 2 kills, one of which was a team nade. And that is just so unfortunate for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe he just mistimed it. He just exploded that grenade in his hand itself. Kaido, what was that? What was that, Cairo? Anyways, the circle is about to shift anytime. Oh, that was a beautiful shot by Ali, knocking down Homicide. I think that could be it. Is he gonna go after? No, that's not gonna be it. Prada is really close by. Rana is in trouble as well. He's been knocked down. There's a nade coming in from him, and that's gonna be it for team. Here, they have been eliminated. I believe they are the first team to be eliminated. Rocker has been, they've been eliminated with no kills at all. EpicGaming, the player with some patience still here. I think he's looking for the kill. Hype down on his knees. He's gonna go for the kill. So of course, if you find somebody down on their knees, they will definitely try to get that life from you. So you should be careful not to run in the open spaces.
Well, he will indeed get punished, and yeah, like you pointed out, Domi in the previous game, he was all by his lonesome against APES and Team P7. This time around, he has everyone else alive and kicking for his side, and he's looking for that. He's like, all right, boys, let's try to farm a few kills here. P7 has only Sneaks left standing, and that's rough. Now, he spots out Beam's head. He spots out the second player as well, and he's going to go for the duel here, but he will in turn get spotted out, down to a sliver of health, and it's going to be Ambition from afar who's going to get the kill and the knock and the wipe on Team PeaklySeven. So the 2 teams who came first and second have been knocked out very, very early on here, although APES still have a player up and running, but they've, like, the 7 players who were there at the end of the first of the end of the final circle in the first game clash, it's just down to 1 member now. It's going to be the sole player, that's Konik from APES, who is still left standing. With P7 and Team TR will bid us adieu for the time being. We have a circle that's going to be shrinking even further now, and that's quite painful for Team TMK, Team Hype, Wonkru, Equinox. The rest of the other teams are all in the safety. They're all in the safe zone at the moment, so don't really need to move around too much, but considering how close these close quarter battles can be, they are still going to be bleeding out a number of players. Bullets whizzing past a lot of these players, and Kanik, I took his name earlier, and he is facing the pressure from Team Wonkru as they seem to have finally found his location.
And also, Kanik got one more kill for the team as well. That could be a perfect one. Oh no, we just barely missed him. Kanik with a nade as well. That's 2 players from Wonkru trying to spot the player. But he's right there, right behind that stone. No mercy, took a huge damage as well. Kanik, look at that. These guys have so many nades in their backpack. He's so sneaky, he's just waiting for those players.
It's like someone just giving like free nades to everyone. That's a great smoke. But the nade is perfection, right in the face, in the mouth, through the teeth, and he's been blown away to smithereens. And Wonkru will finally get their revenge onto Kanik for taking down the member. But in the meantime, they've also lost another player. That means it's just down to 2. They have 2 kills to the name. But with that, like you pointed out earlier, Clash, APES as well as Team P7 are going to be down for the count, at least on game number 2. The top 2 teams from Erangel.
Yeah. But, APES, they've been eliminated. And, Wonkru, they have to move really, really far away, to touch the play zone there. Nepal Esports, however, they're so close to the play zone, which is good. Team Hive, they've entered it. And also we have lots of teams finally gathering around the northern side of the play zone, somewhere around the Paradise Resort. And I believe they will be fighting anytime soon. There's another drop coming in down with another M249. What is going on here?
I mean, it's a perfect gun for a map like Sanhok, where you can just like mow people down. It's going to be close quarter, mid-range battles, and this is a gun where, well, basically doesn't run out of bullets. Magazine the size of a small dog. You have a lot of like level 3 goodies as well. Unfortunately, it is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and considering how late it is in the game, I don't really fancy any team really going for this loot unless the circle drives them to it. As we're going to be switching over perspective to Team TK, who have right now 0 kills to the name, and just down to 2 players. That is Team Kangaroo. They lost 2 of their members early on. A bit of some team nade as well taking place. And I feel like they've been in this hut for the past entire game. They really haven't been feeling very adventurous after losing 2 members. But hey, if you want to play for the placement points, more power to you.
Yes, indeed. They have to be careful as well. It's not about going all out right off your bat. You have to be more conscious. You have to be more cautious as well if you want to get those placement points and everything. Because, they've already lost 2 players. They don't want to lose more. They want to stay alive in the game to get those chicken dinner in the late game. Who knows what's going to happen here. So that's KTM off topic. Oh, fires a couple of shots with the 3X attached with that M416. I think that's Sotko. He was really, really low in his health. Sugar Daddy, he's using some medkit, I guess. So that's Sotko, by the way. He will be using those painkillers to get his health back up. Everybody's intact here, no casualties so far for the teams, and also they have to move inside the circle anytime soon, because if you take a closer look at the circle, we only have about 4 or 5 teams inside, and Nepal Esports, they could be in a huge trouble. Team Hype, they're all good. We have Team Ignore and Team TMK really close to each other right there in the dead center. I think they will be guarding the central location of the play zone.
Hype on 5 points. We have EpicGaming on 3, although they have lost 1 player. Team Muslim King, TMK on 3 points as well. Wonkru on 2. But apart from Hype, most of these teams have lost players. EpicGaming, just 1 player who has been knocked out. It's VelociRaptor, a team who had a rough start to the tournament. They're getting harangued. They're getting attacked by Team Equinox. And Godang, he's aware. He can hear these footsteps, but the nades, they're so very good. Everyone's so darn good with the nades. It's Doki looking to finish off the job, but he's just tossing in nades, just wildly, just guessing and hoping to get lucky. But for the time being, Godang will stay alive. He's got teammates nearby from Team VelociRaptor, but they need to make a play here, and it's going to be the call. It's going to be Hitman pushing on, and he spots at Equinox's Ashok, and he's going to get taken down, and from far away, Northeast Esports, they're going to get a knock, but from above, Hitman, living up to his name, 2 quick knocks, and Iron is distance away. He needs to push on in to get the res on his teammate, but it's an uphill battle, and the bullets whizzing downhill, and it's not going to be easy for Iron. He's got to deploy a few smokes to kind of cross the open plains as he heads straight for his teammates.
It looks like it's going to be really, really difficult for Iron, because he's the only player. And Sayal, I believe 2 players who got knocked. They were trying to use smoke as a cover, but that's really transparent. You cannot simply block bullets with the smoke. And now Iron is the only player for Team Nepal Esports. VelociRaptors, they're really close to the circle. If in case they have to leave that player outside that circle, move inside of it, they don't have to worry about it. But Iron, he's going to have to go through this team who's actually gatekeeping him. That could be really troublesome for him. Look at that Iron right there. He's staying outside that blue zone. He's taking the blue damage.
There's nothing he can do, right? There's absolutely nothing he can do. And VelociRaptor, like you pointed out, they are gatekeeping him. There's no way in for him. He could still make a run for it right now, though, right? He's got this health kits to work with, and he can just leg it, but there is still Hitman just still sticking around behind, making sure no one sneaks on in from behind, because he is aware there was a teammate nearby. As we switch perspectives to WCKTM Rage, who have a couple of kills to the name, and they know Team Nightmare are downhill in that shelter, and for the time being they're going to be safe. But look at the circle now. There's 1 team in the safe zone, and that is Team Ignore, and Team 19's TMK, Team Muslim King, taking aim at Team Hype, who are right now with 5 kills and 5 alive. And that's a beautiful peek from Nobody. I'm surprised he didn't land a headshot, but he finally will. Ali will get the knock on the Nobody, but for Nobody, he's got his teammates nearby to go for the quick res.
That was a close call. Team Hype, they are going to be in a huge trouble. Trust me, they're going to be in a huge trouble. They have to rotate now, because if you remember the previous game, they played the same game. They stayed out for too long, outside the play zone for too long, and they got third-partied by the other team. So it seems they're gonna repeat the same process here, and they have to move right now, right here. So talking about Team Nightmare, they are after Team WCK team as well. That was a perfect nade. It knocks him down beautifully. Are they going to rush towards the player? Nope. Nero peeks again. Oh, that's another knock coming in for the team here. Nazi with another nade. Look at that. These two teams are actually trying to get those kills for themselves.
Yeah, they are, and this is complete chaos right now. Freestyler will be taken out in the meantime. Team Yocto coming under fire, and Gibby bleeding out, but it's going to be Jox X999. That's a cool name from WCKTM. Rage is going to get the knock, and Northeast Iron, lone man standing. He still gets a knock onto Beyonder. He's going to finish off Beyonder from VelociRaptor. And that's huge. We thought he was done with. And VelociRaptor to get eliminated. They had 4 players alive, Clash, but they're going to be taken on down as Domi, he is running ahead. He knows money's nearby, but he's wasting no time because he knows that blue is going to deal an insane amount of damage, and they're nowhere close to the safe zone. They still have to make a run for it, and they're going to find a bit of shelter for the time being from the blue wall of death, as Wonkru will also be eliminated. This time, I believe, getting taken on by the circle. Glock in the meantime, he will be healing on up, and Hype's nobody will fall to the play zone. And with that, Team Hype will be eliminated. At least they have 6 kills to the name, as we're down now to the final 19 players alive and the final 7. And Team Ignore, they're in a very, very good spot at the moment. How is Iron still alive, Clash? Yeah. How is Iron still alive? Explain this to me.
He's still alive. He only had 3 first aid kit in his backpack, and he just did that third-party action against VelociRaptors as well. He was the one who took the last shot to clear off his path right ahead of him, and now he's all okay so far, and he is the only player for the team. I think there's another team as well with only a player. Is there? I don't think so, but you have to be careful. Oh, some shots being fired by Kiwi with the Thompsons. Some SMG is going to be really useful here. Whisper again. These guys are still outside the blue zone. Come on, you need to go through those players. And that's going to be it for Team
Epic. No?
Epic. No,
are they done? Yeah, so. They're done. They had almost everyone still alive.
The last player.
They had 13 points, and they get knocked out. That is so rough. They had so many kills, but the trades were good for their opponents, and then a sneaky play coming in from behind. And with that, we're down to the final 5 teams here. And Jox 999, he's on a tear. He's going to find another knock on the Nazi from NTE, who's bleeding out. And NTE, Team Nightmare, had so many players alive, but right now, they barely have anyone left standing. It's all in Versi, because Arco, he's done for. Arco's down, and it's all in Versi from NTE, and he's just trying to heal his way to safety.
It's actually 21 minutes in the game, and everything is looking good except for Team Gravity, because there's only 1 player left for the team, and that's a WC, by the way. Oh, he's definitely going to be knocked down. That was a beautiful shot by Versi, and is he going to make it? No, he's going to go out as well. That's going to be it for Team Nightmare. It seems we will be down to 4 teams, and Team Gravity, they still have 1 more player left, and that's a rest coming in for Team WCKTM. Now, they will be able to fight with 2 players. They're all good, but they have to go through Team Ignore and also against that Team TMK, Team Muslim King. Look at that, they're still really outside the circle, but Team Ignore, they have a really, really good location at the moment, that compound. This is definitely going to be a huge advantage for the team.
But the knocks are coming on in, and Ignore, even though they had the cover, they're getting whittled down as Team WCKTM just pushing on in. Jox 999 was down a while back, but right now it's up and running, and Ignore's going to get knocked out, wiped out. They had the compound, but they will get pushed and taken down. We're down to the final 4 players left alive in the server. 2 teams. It's a 2v2. WCKTM Rage, and they're going to be facing off against their opponents. The last players left standing, team number 19. There's Team Muslim King, Ali and Hassan against Sujan and Jox 999. The circle is tiny, and there's just 1 chicken coop in between these 2 teams.
Yeah, that was actually a good push by Team Muslim King. They were outside. The compound was completely lost from by Team Ignore there. I don't know what went wrong, but 4 players from Team Ignore, they got eliminated. But we have 1 more knock coming in for Team WC, and he doesn't have enough space inside that building. Look at that. How close is that blue zone? It's going to be 1v2 because Susan cannot fight for the team. I think 999 will be waiting for his opponents.
There's no need to push, though.
I don't think he's going to push. Come on. Stay there. stay alive. Look
No,
at that,
but
the
like-
blue zone. Oh my god, it's shrinking.
Yeah, but TMK is coming out on top here. Jox is just going to be playing for time, and unfortunately, considering the amount of damage his Circle's going to be dealing right now, even if he tries to time all his medkits to perfection, he's got 7 of them. Make that 6. I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think he has enough time to work with you. Just trying to delay the inevitable, but it looks like Team Muslim King are going to be coming out on top here. And a bit of an anticlimactic end to the game, if you ask me. But TMK, credit to them. They were able to take down Team Ignore, who had all 4 players alive inside the safe zone, inside of those houses, and they pushed so well together. So I guess a deserved chicken dinner going the way of Team TMK.
Yes, of course. That was a really good push by Team TMK, and that could be. And I think that's the last first aid kit for 999. Oh, he's still got 1.
How many does he have?
Oh,
Okay,
that's gonna
one
be the
more.
last one.
Well,
That's
goodbye,
gonna be
sweet
it.
prince. Goodbye, sweet prince. He has to go for the play here. He has to.
Oh.
Unfortunately, oh no, there's no time. There's no
Maybe
time.
he's
GG.
gonna go down.
Oh, he's gonna go down
look at
dancing.
him.
I love it. Absolutely
Little bit of
fantastic way. Like, listen, when I go down at the end, hopefully much more later in my life, like all of us do, considering we're all mortal, that's where I want to go down. I want to go down dancing, if you ask me. 25 points to Team Muslim King, a total damage of 1,645, 10 kills to the name, alongside a chicken dinner. And with that, they will be placed 3rd, I believe they are. What a game from TMK, especially the final push onto Team Ignore's position. That was a thing of beauty.
Yes, of course. That was really amazing gameplay by Team Muslim King there.
And even more impressively is the fact that they wear a 3-man roster, which is so bloody impressive. They're already playing with a handicap, and they're like, you know what? You guys might have 4 players. We just need 3. That's all we need. Team TMK, and they get the chicken dinner and the 10 kills to the name as well with that 25 points. Fun game. A lot of action breaking out. Much more hectic game compared to Erangel. And I guess we kind of expected that considering it is Sanhok. And let's take a look very quickly at the MVP of the game. And Clash, your thoughts on Ali from Team Muslim King. 8
Wow,
kills.
8 kills.
8 kills.
8
What?
kills. Can you believe it? 8 kills.
Okay.
That's
all right.
that's really good. He even doesn't have any assist, which is it's okay. He got those kills for himself. He's like, okay, I'm going to knock the player down. I'm going to confirm these kills.
35 in damage. That means he wasn't just stealing the kills away from his teammates or stealing kills from other players. He was getting it done all on his own. Well, he stings like a... Well, sorry, I was going to go with that. He floats like a butterfly. There we go. He floats like a butterfly, and he stings like a bee with an AK-47. TMK's Ali getting it done, and I think that's something which you won't see that often. 8 kills and over 1,000 points in damage is something which you don't see that often in any tournament.
Yes, actually, so far, this is the highest number of kills we've got.
I mean, just 2 games,
And
all right?
maybe we can see
small
more,
sample size. Yeah, small sample size, but hopefully we get to see more. I want to see someone crack the double-digit barrier, as we can take a look very quickly at the top players of the game on Sanhok. Surprise, surprise, Ali is going to be there on top, closely followed by Jox X999, who had 5 kills, 790 points of damage. He was everywhere getting kills. We have nobody from Hype getting 4 kills for his team, even though nobody got knocked out. I mean, Hype got knocked out comparatively early. And then we have Domi from Epic. This guy, he played a survival game in the first on Erangel, and this time around he did deal quite a bit of damage, despite the fact that his team got wiped out. Unfortunately, I don't think they managed to get a top 5 placing there. But there you have it, the top 4 players of the game on Sanhok. And then we can now quickly take a look at the match recap, the map recap, to see who had the most damage, who had the most kills. It's going to be Ali, obviously. But apart from that, take a look at this. Take me through this. Take me through this, Clash.
So that's 1135. That's a huge damage coming in from Team, Muslim King's Ali. We have ammunition with 243 meters. Oh, that's a long distance kill. That's good. And talking about the distance traveled, that's about 7 kilometers in total by TZ Whisper. And he was the only player, there were like 5 teams in total in the end of the circle, and he was the only player left for the team as well. And he was trying his best to find some first aid kit to stay alive in the play zone, but unfortunately they got eliminated. And Team Hype, oh my goodness, they were really aggressive. It started really aggressive. They got 5 kills within 5 minutes of the game. that was cool.
Yeah, good start. Unfortunately, not able to finish off the job. We can take a look now at the standings of the game of Sanhok itself, and then we can maybe take a look later on at the overall standings as it is. Right now, the Team Muslim Kim coming out on top, 25 points. WCKTM Rage, 12 placement points, along with 8 kills. Coming in third is going to be EpicGaming, mainly because even though they came fourth, the amount of kills they had 9 kills, just trailing TMK by just the 1 point. 13 kills, tied with Team Ignore. We're also in 13 total points, despite only getting 3 kills. And we have Gravity, we have Team Nightmare, and then if you go down there, we have Team Hype, 6 kills. Unfortunately, the placement points aren't going to be too much for Team Hype, so they only have 7. Then we have Nepal Esports as well in the 8th position. Let's take a look at the second half of the table. But TMK, a couple of these teams are playing with just a 3-man roster, and I won't lie, there's some impressive stuff coming out from them. APES and PeaklySeven, top 2 teams on Erangel. Unfortunately, they won't even crack the top 10 here on Sanhok. So, sometimes you finish way on top, sometimes you finish way at the bottom, and that's the way the cookie crumbles at times.
Yes, indeed. But, they should be really consistent if they want to qualify for the regional finals, of course, because only top 16 teams will be qualified for it. So you cannot simply risk. They've already played 2 matches out of 12. They have to be careful for what's to come next. They should be really careful on that one. And I guess the third map is Miramar. It's a huge map, right?
Yeah, the third map is indeed going to be in Miramar. I don't know if we have the overall standings of the tournament right now. Maybe we do. Yes, we do. There we go.
Great.
APES, they remain strong, but right now catching up to them is going to be EpicGaming, who have managed to tie things up 28 and 28. We have TMK, who only played the one game. I don't think they played the first one, right? I didn't see them in the server. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was some technical issues. Maybe it didn't show up on time. Whatever it is, they've only played one game, a 3-man roster, and they're in the 3rd position already. That's a fantastic start for them. KTM Rage in the 4th spot in 22, tied with Team Gravity in the 4th and 5th place. Combined together. Nepal Esports in the 6th, PeaklySeven 7th, and Team Ignore in the 8th position. Just a difference of 10 points between the 1st place team and the 8th place team, as we take a look at the second half of the table to see where these teams stand. And unfortunately, right at the bottom there, Clash, we have Kangaroo, Yocto, VelociRaptor, and the Rocker. They haven't had a good time so far, and neither have Team Hype. 2 games in, and they're still yet to crack the top 10. However, we did see some good signs coming out from them on Sanhok.
Yeah, actually, Team Hype, a couple of players got eliminated by the play zone itself. They were actually engaged with a player right ahead of them. They used those in. I believe that was Team TZ right ahead of them. But I told you back then, they had to move into the play zone. They have to rotate. And I think they took a lot more time. That's the cause of their elimination, I guess. Way too early.
Well, whether they're going to get eliminated early again, we're going to be finding out. Coming up next, it's going to be the dry and dusty deserts of Miramar, and that's going to be coming up after a very short break. Welcome back, everyone, to day one, the opening day of the PUBG Mobile, PUBG Club Open, PUBG Mobile PMCO. I'm losing track of what I'm supposed to be saying here. I'm doing a terrible job. But thankfully, to pick up the slack, I got Clash Pot 047 with me. And Clash, how are you feeling after 2 games here? I think you're muted. Oh no, Clash is muted. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we have lost him, which is unfortunate. I hope you can hear me, though.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Oh. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
All right. That was a kind of good moment for me by Team TMK all of a sudden eliminating those players for that chicken dinner inside the compound, eliminating those Team Ignore. They must be sad about that situation there. But, comparing 2 games, I loved Sanhok.
Sanhok, Sanhok definitely did play very differently from how we witnessed Erangel playing out there, but it's good to see a couple of teams really step up there. Like you pointed out, a couple of teams we didn't really see them do much work. TMK playing the first game, especially a 3-man squad, really stepping up, doing a great job there. Hype managing to wake up a little bit on Sanhok. Unfortunately, the hype ran out a little too early. Maybe you could see more from them here in Miramar. APES and I think it was P7. I think it was Team P7 who really struggled on Sanhok. PeaklySeven, my bad. They did struggle on Sanhok despite having 2 great placings there on Erangel. So heading into Miramar, it is a bit of a different map. It's much more bigger than Sanhok, twice the size, in fact, the biggest map we have here in the game. Are you expecting it to play a little bit more like the way Erangel played out, where we have these super slow starts and then the action gets a little bit more heated up and chaotic towards the end of the game?
Well, I think Miramar is gonna be a little slower paced game. Teams, they will start really slow. I don't want to say it's gonna be really slow, just like the Erangel, because we've seen first kills somewhere around 15 or 16 at around 15 or 16 minutes of the game in Erangel. But in Miramar, we'll see some kills pretty early. Doesn't mean it's going to be really aggressive like we saw in this Sanhok itself, because Sanhok was crazy.
Sanhok was, it was crazy. It was hectic. And heading into Miramar, as we're going to be jumping straight on in, I don't think we're going to be wasting much time here. The action is hot and heavy here. And once more, it is going to be a plane path, which is basically going to bifurcate the map in half diagonally, starting all the way from El Pozo, heading into Puerto Parayo. And we got Power Grid, we got Monte Nuevo, we got Picado, Los Leones on the plane path. And one thing I want to see personally, Clash, I'm a simple man, right? I like seeing sniper action. I like seeing bolt action, sniper action, as my one of my dear friends, Mr. Experiment, likes to say. And that is something which we haven't really had an opportunity to see on Erangel or on Sanhok because of the way the maps are. But Miramar, you want to see some of that Car 98 action. You want to see the M24 and even the AWM, hopefully, coming into play.
Of course, DMR is a mandatory weapon. That's what I want to say, because even if you miss one shot with that kill, that bolt action rifle, boom, you have to reload it again. I think DMR is more suitable for these kind of terrain, because you can simply get those players, even if you miss, first bullet or 2, you can simply tap them out, boom, 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 it's like that, and that's a pretty good weapon to use. And talking about the map itself, it's a huge map. We could see some sniping thing going on, maybe some long-range spray as well. And we have a couple of teams already heading towards Minas del Valle. And oh my God, it seems like, I don't want to jinx, to be honest, but I think we will have some battle really early.
Yeah, El Pozo. Yeah, El Pozo is going to be quite bloody very soon, I feel like, right? Like, you look at that, 3 teams on the left-hand side of the map, and they have quite a bit of terrain to traverse before they can find themselves in some safety. It's going to be jumping straight on into the action. It's going to be Saiyan from Team Hype. He's not going to be facing much opposition early on. He's going to be going for the loot, but you can take a look at the minimap and you'd see who the neighbors are. It's Team Hype and it's APES. And APES, right now, they're not exactly together yet. They're quickly looting out, trying to find as much weaponry and utility as possible before they have to take this fight here. But finally, it looks like all the technical issues have been sorted out here, Clash. It looks like we have all the 4 teams with all the members in the server. 64, and if my math is correct, 16 teams. And we're going to have a battle breaking on out, but it's going to be a battle taking place somewhere else. It's going to be TR facing off against, I believe, that is Team Equinox.
Yes, indeed. And I don't know, come on, this is way too early to pick any kind of battle in the Miramar. You know, when we started the game, we told, we were discussing, okay, is it going to be a slower pace? Is it going to be a fast-paced game? It seems it's going to be a balanced one, A couple of teams, they will go, oh, that's a perfect nade though. A couple of teams, they will go a little slower, but that's some knocks coming in again. Seems like they don't want to leave this play just like that. They want to get those points before they head on to the next play zone.
That is a really risky play coming up from Equinox. They got a little too hungry, if you ask me. They saw the knock onto Prada, and they're like, all right, time to, rob him of his Pradas. But instead, they get taken down. That's such a huge flag from In Your Dream. And he gets a couple, but he gets quickly traded by Riaz. And Riaz now left alone, the one man standing. And Rana and Homicide, they're going to go running on in. They want to finish him off before he's able to get the res onto any one of his teammates. But Riaz, he has managed to heal himself up. Rana not going in for the kill. Instead, is going to go for the res onto Prada, making it a 2v3. TR
was gonna go.
The push coming on in though, and Rana he spots out the player. The Mac-10 comes out, finishes off Riaz, but there's still another player. It is gonna be In Your Dream. He needs to heal himself though, and he's bleeding out, and he's been spotted out. There's not much he can do, but before he takes the fight, his teammate has been res, but he will immediately fall, and it's going to be it. That's going to be it for Equinox, unless Archer's able to pull off something truly, truly special, and he will find nothing. He will be taken down. Homicide living up to his name. A drive-by with the Mac-10, and with that, we say goodbye to a team very early on, Clash. Very, very, very early in the game. Something which you didn't see coming. Something which I didn't see coming either.
That was way too early. And look at that. These guys are looting those crates as if they don't have anything in their backpack. Come on, I need this. I need that. Let's fill up our backpack. Oh, some shots being fired again. People are dying way too early. I don't know.
I love
Maybe
it.
they're going after those aggression. Look at that.
I love it.
From Team Epic. It's actually good to see, people fighting out with each other. That's VelociRaptors. They've lost Godang already. And hey, MF, look at that. He's got some higher ground. But I don't think it's a good idea. Trust me. If you ask me, I wouldn't risk to, take any fights in this early stage of the game. I'd rather loot. Because look at these players. They don't even have any first aid kit in their backpack.
Yeah, and that's a problem, isn't it? Hitman making a run for his teammate. He does have a medkit he can probably drop on over, but AMF taking a bit of damage. Right now he does have cover off that bit of a peek. And Domi, a player who has been on our sites quite often, and he is gonna, well, he doesn't have to do anything. His teammates are gonna come flanking around from behind. Ambition's gonna finish off the job. And Epic, well, they're off to a pretty good start. They get 2 kills. And I believe they scared away their opponents there. There's not much their opponents can do to try and get a trade. And it's going to be a 4v2, and it's a lot of loot as well for Team Epic. And considering all these teams are in the safe zone, Clash, it's kind of wild how aggressive they're being, like you pointed out.
Yeah, it's Miramar, and that's something we don't expect, quite often here in Miramar. Because Miramar is all about those semi-aggressive or maybe a passive gameplay. But these teams, they've shown us, okay, Miramar, it can be aggressive. We can go aggressive with the Miramar itself. It doesn't matter which map it is. We want kill. We want those points. That's all we want. That's ignored, by the way. Clutch with this car L, Epic Squad. I think they know exactly how many players are inside. Maybe not. They're slowly making their move. A couple of smokes thrown out just to cover the pathway as well. Clutch is the only player. Will he be able to clutch it? Looks like he is going to be taken down instead by Glock. And that's going to be it for Clutch here.
Krita, though, from the distance, taking a few shots, trying to delay the push from Epic. In the meantime, we have a fight breaking up between Hype and Apes. We can take a look at that later on as Domi is looking for Krita. He knows he's somewhere in the vicinity. He's right above him. He's not looking his direction. Epic, Domi, trying to sneak around from all the way from behind, as Asuna's going to join the fray as well. And Epic realizing that, yeah, they've taken the fight to ignore, but they're not aware of where the other players are. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the kill feed, Hype and Apes are duking it out. It's a street fight with guns. And here we go, Assault with the UMP, trying to find the knock onto Kanik. Kanik just taking a bit of an energy drink as Nero will be res. But Hype are down to 2 players now, Assault and Yan. And a Molotov is perfection. Assault's going to burn alive and is going to roll on the ground trying to put out the flames. But he is on his knees as Team Hype coming under fire, and it's all in Cyan. One man against the Apes, and the Apes are strong. White will be dropped. Cyan trying to get the trade, trying to finish him off. He's going to come in from behind, but he switches the weapon at the worst time possible, and White will finish him off. Apes, once more, they will bang the chest. It came down to Kanik, by the way. He was all alone, but he manages to get the wipe, and Apes, they lose a player, they lose Hustler, but they keep 3 alive. And more importantly, Clash, Hype, well, they came to an early end.
And they got eliminated with just a kill as well. I don't know what that was. He had SLR in his hand. Come on, you should have used that DMR properly. Oh my goodness, they must be really mad if they're watching if they watch this game afterwards. They're gonna be really mad at them, at themselves, because he had that UMP in his hands. He had DMR. He just switched it to DMR in the close range. He should have reloaded that UMP 45 to, get that player down right ahead of him. That was really close combat, though. That was 1v1 for him against, that Team Hype and Team Apes. That was 1v1 situation as well. Unfortunately, they got eliminated in 15th place with just a kill point in their name, and I'm pretty sure they're not happy about it.
Yeah, I guess that would be an understatement. I don't think anyone's going to be happy about it getting eliminated with just 1 point to the name. Krilla has finally been spotted out by Beams from Team Epic. And Epic, there was a bit of a lull in the action there. They got those 2 knocks onto Ignore. They got a kill as well. And then we switched over to the battle between Apes and Hype. And now we get back to this fight once more. And Epic, all 4 alive and standing, and they're going in for the kill here. They're going in to finish off Krita. He does have a couple of teammates nearby, but Krita will be finished off. Beams dealing so much damage that he will bleed out onto the dry fields of Miramar. This is dangerous from Team 18, from Team Epic, though. If they go for this play, they're out in the open. It's just plain fields with barely any cover, and Ignore are inside of the warehouse. So I guess they're going to play this one safe. There's no need to go for the fight. They're going to be going in for the loot, though. The loot is everything, and they're going to use a smoke in order to obscure the vision from Team Ignore, but Ignore is still going to be rattling off bullets, and look at Beams running on into the fight, using the bike. He's making a lot of noise, but right now, he's trying to play distraction while the remainder of his teammates are slowly going to be going in, moving in like a pack of wolves, trying to finish off the job and finish off Team Ignore.
They are really hungry for the loot, because look at that. They only got level 1 backpack, level 1 helmet, and level 1 vest, not even first aid kit, nothing at all. They need to loot. It's way too early for them. Maybe it's because they saw some enemy in the compound. Come on, we should go. We should get the kills. Forget about the loot. We got 1 weapon with us. We can simply get those players with these weapons. And they just rushed in, and now they are going to loot those crates, on the ground. So that's the cycle. A player has been eliminated. I think that's Beyonder from a team of VelociRaptors, and lots of teams are inside the circle currently, but we have Team Nightmare and Wonkru who will be joining in the southern side of that map here, that play zone, and I think they're going to be crashing anytime soon. If they stop there, Wonkru could be gatekeeping Team Nightmare. And also Team Gravity, they're heading towards the San Martin from the western side of the map, and they're actually going closer to Team KTM Race.
They are. The thing is, they did go for the gamble of going in a little bit, a little late, and that's what they have done right now. And it works out for them, right? They're not really having to face off against anyone at the moment. They're looking pretty comfortable. They're looking very, very cool, calm, and collected. Don't have to deal with any fights here early on. Well, not really early on, but like in the mid-game stage of Miramar here. Team Yocto have been kind of quiet so far, but let's hold on to the thought for the time being. Team P7 are pinned down. Now, one thing going their way is they are in the circle. They're in a safe zone. They don't have to budge. The problem is, when they do have to make a move, there is Team Kangaroo from above. Now, marsupials are not really well known for climbing tall hills, mountains, or peaks. But this particular team are looking to redeem themselves. They've had a rough couple of games to start things off, to start their campaign here in PMCO Wildcard. And again, just reminding everyone, there's 32 teams, and it'll be whittled down to 16 teams by the end of the week. So each team gets to play 10 maps. Two maps already done here for Group A and Group B. So they have 2 more maps to be played out here today. So every map matters. There's not much margin for error as we have non-stop. He's got a Car 98, baby. He wants to land those headshots.
He's got that weapon of destruction. Come on, he's just using that peaky move. Oh, Team Kangaroo, however, they know exactly where the players are. Non-stop, he's got Car 98. I don't think that's going to be enough to stop Team Kangaroo because they've got that higher ground advantage with them. And the circle is shifting slowly. And I believe every single teams are outside the circle, leaving 1 or 2 inside of it. And we have Team Nepal Esports. Look at that. They've got the Mirado. Okay. They've got the ride. They got some loot as well. Some pretty filled up backpack, I'd say. And they will be moving somewhere around the graveyard. That's where they could be hitting somewhere around the graveyard at the moment. Looking good. But there is already a team down there. That's actually PeaklySeven and also Team Kangaroo right ahead of them. They should be worrying. Oh, Apes. That was close. That was close. Team Apes, they're not holding back. And Team Nepal Esports told you, Alan was riding so carelessly. I don't think he knew how many players or who was there inside the compound. He just stopped the vehicle and he was surprised.
That's such a risky play from Team Nepal Esports because here's the thing. It wasn't like the circle was on them. There was no rush for them to really run it into a compound. And they went on in where Team P7 were happily lying in wait. And they're going to be very happy with that as White will be knocked down. This is kind of like a rematch between on Erangel, right? It was Team P7 versus Apes. It was P7 having only 3 players alive at that point in time, and right now Apes taking the fight to P7. The players from the side of Apes are kind of far away from each other, and that means they have to go for a play here to get the res. And Canic's gonna get onto the party wagon and gonna be going in, trying to get the res. The nade is gonna come sailing on in. Sancho doing a great job keeping the players from P7 at bay, and that's gonna be enough time for the res to take place. White will be resed, and this is fantastic work from Sancho. He's keeping the players from P7 at bay, preventing them from pushing on in and getting the kill. Canic needs to be careful, and luckily he doesn't take any damage. White's going to heal on up as well, and Apes, they're back up and running. They're down a man though. They lost a player early on. But one thing we know about Team Apes is that they like taking this fight. They like taking the fight to their opponents. The problem is neither of these 2 teams are in the safe zone at the moment. Now, there's still a little bit of time to work with for the circle to slowly congregate to their position. And it is going to be the shot from Sancho. And that's going to be a knock onto a player for P7 and Apes. They don't really need to take this fight here. And that's exactly what they're doing. I love this play, Clash. They're going to be playing the zone. And they're going to be playing gatekeepers. Because P7, eventually, they have to make a move. Forget that. They have to make a move right now.
Yep, right now. They're just buying too much time outside that blue zone. Come on, you have to move in. They've got that vehicle ready. But come on, Team Apes, they will definitely be gatekeeping these players. There is no reviving. Come on, what are you doing? It's 4th circle in the game. Is it going to make it? Okay. VelociRaptors, there was last member alive in the team. And actually, he's been found out. He's been eliminated as well. Now we're down to 13 teams, 46 players alive in the game. Playzone takes down P7, PeaklySeven's Hypes. And look at the circle play. Look at that. I believe that's only 3 teams inside the circle currently. Everybody's trying to make their rush, and the northern side of the circle is completely open for WC KDM and also for Team Gravity. They're still hanging around outside that circle. And we also have Team Muslim King. I think they're chasing 1 player. Oh, he's going to find him. He's going to find him. Okay, that's a knockdown.
The long range with a Tommy. And that is going to be painful. And in your dream, well, he's done for. This is a nightmare at the moment. Rana is trying to at least trade, at least get some vengeance for his teammate, but quite far away are Team TMK, Team Muslim King. They got a chicken dinner on Sanhok. They're looking for more here. As Versy's going to find Rana from Team TR. That's a knock taking place. And for Team TR, that's 1 player on his knees. Fortunately, they still have 3 alive. As 420 OP from TK will be taken down. That's a very scary game for Versy. The party van, a massive target for Homicide to riddle the side of the van with the bullets. And with that, they will have to evacuate the vehicles. But everyone's close to the circle right now. But the problem for Team NTE, they still need to make a move. They're still a bit far away from safety.
Yes, of course. And we have Team Kangaroo here spotted a player from team Yocto E-Sports Bay. I think he's just trying to find that knocked player to confirm the kill. But, you know, Jane, he's got him covered. That's a couple of shots. Okay, that's Sanchir. Oh my god, he was playing really good back there. I think they were trying to gatekeep these players, but instead Kangaroo, they found that small opening just below the vehicle, and I think he's still trying to get the kill. Yes, indeed. That's the beauty of DMR. That's what I'm talking about. You know, even if you miss the first shot of that killer bolt action or something like that, if you have DMR with you, that's going to be more handy than other sniper rifles. Jane with the car 98 though. Is he going to take the shot? Oh, that's close. It's close. That's Team Apes really close to them as well. Jane, he's got the higher ground advantage. Nightmare Arco, he's been taken down as well. Lots of players getting eliminated as we see here in the kill feed. But it seems 420. Oh, he's no more in the game. Wonkru, and that's a team elimination for Team Wonkru as well.
Yep, this is looking rough for a few of these teams as we're down. A Team Ignore as well. They will say goodbye to us on Miramar. We're down to the final 31 alive in the server. And 10 teams still up and running. Apes have 3 players still running around, banging their chests, looking to take a fight. And Team 11, that is Team Teak, they need to be wary. I'm looking at the minimap. Team Kangaroo, there's a team right behind them. Now, they have the high ground advantage, but the team behind them could sneak on up, and I don't think they're aware of that, are they? Take a look at the minimap, right? There's a team right behind them. I'm not able to figure out which team that is. It's P7.
Yeah.
And TK have no idea, but of course, they do have that high ground advantage, but there we go. Apes, do they want to take this fight? It's not really worth it. They are in the zone. They are in the safety of the circle, meaning Team TK, Team Kangaroo have to head on down towards the Apes, where the Apes are lying in wait. The Rocker will be eliminated, but at least they get 4 kills before they hit the ground.
Still, we have every single team's outside the play zone. Just Nepal Esports and including Apes are inside. Sanchir, however, from Team Apes still outside, and that's Nightmare really close to Wheeze. I think he must have been spotted. Look at that. There's a gas can right ahead of him. Is he planning to do some ambush thing? Oh, maybe he just left it. Okay, that's a tricky move by him, but now they have to leave that place as well. Cairo again, he's been taken down. Dexter with the enforced spots a player. Wheeze has been knocked down. Give you in the party bus. They need to move now. The 5th circle is about to close in. 20 minutes in the game. Team Kangaroo, they've been eliminated as well. That was Team Epic, by the way. Domi taking the last shot, and oh my goodness.
That was
fights
very,
going on
very
here.
close.
Fights going on there. These guys are just not giving up.
They're not giving up at all, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Givy, lone man on his feet for his teammates. He's going to toss in the smoke to provide himself a little bit of cover. His teammates will fall by the wayside. Nazi from NTE getting the kill. Nazi is looking for more. He's going to finish off Wiz as well from Team Gravity, and he is just on a warpath right now. He's looking for more. Givy, lone man standing. His teammates haven't found out. Sugar Daddy, meantime, taking quite a bit of damage as well. Team Yocto down to the 2 players, 2 kills to the name. 8 teams, but just 22 alive. An average of about 3 players per team, less than that in fact, as Sneaks from TMK will hit the ground. That's Hassan down for the count from Team Muslim Kings. As Team P7 looking to make up for the performance of Sanhok.
Yeah, now we're down to 21 players, and I think that's 8 players down here in the same compound. That's Bay from Team Yocto. Also, Team Apes will be joining on to this compound. There's another nade coming in. I think they know there's a player down there to the reason. Epic ambushing with the rampage. 5 amazing kills. Oh my god, that's a beautiful shot coming in from Kanik as well. He's been taking those players down. Team Apes. Looks like they're ready for another chicken dinner. They're prepared for it.
They're ready for it. Like. They are definitely ready for it. They have the plates ready. They have the forks and knives, everything out, but they still need to get it. As Ali and WRB getting the chicken dinner earlier, and that's a perfect nade, and Ali in the blue. He might just fall to his death. Yes, he will. The timing of the nade couldn't have been any better. Another nade comes on in, and P7 are doing fantastic fantastic work with the utility, and WRB, there's nothing he can do. In fact, he will be found out by Domi from across the distance, and Yocto E-Sports will be eliminated. And the Apes, Team Muslim King as well, falling 6th position, 5 kills to the name, down to the final 5 teams, and 13 alive in the server. And of the 13, 3 of them are the Apes, and together they stand strong. They're using these vehicles very well as well, kind of like a mobile fortress, as they try and use it as some cover late in the game. Sancher playing recon, spots out Syri from P7 in the distance. A few pot shots from the M4, trying to keep their opponents at bay, but we have Team North, the Nepal Esports as well, still in the fray. 3 alive. And I like the way Apes are playing here. They're playing in a group of 2+1, making sure they're not congregated together where they might get wiped out. But the cover is thin, and the circle is small. And the terrain, it is treacherous indeed. As it's a Nepal Esports, they're going to be heading on down. They're actually in a very comfortable spot. If you look at the minimap, they might be the only team in the safe zone at the moment.
Actually, there's some shots coming in from Apes, and they've got the higher ground as well. But Nepal Esports, I think that's going to be a really troublesome place for the team to hold on to, because, you know, they can stay there a little longer, but I don't think that's going to be enough for them to pull out some kind of a dramatic fight later on. Look at that, Osok, he was spotted by an Ape, because Apes, they had that higher ground advantage. Gibby, oh, that was the last member for Team Gravity, and he's been taken down as well, Iron. So yeah, the last member alive, he will be reviving his teammate. They've got that disadvantage of the height, that altitude. They should have been moving upwards, those uphills. But it seems Team Apes, they're holding really good location there with a couple of big vehicles to make the barrier. There is actually another team, Team Epic. They've got some casualty on the side as well.
Epic have 13 kills. That is frigging epic. That's huge. And they have all 4 alive, and we're down to the final 4. They're in a fantastic spot to get a chicken dinner. The only team who could present a problem would be the Apes, where we have White, Kanik, and Sanche still alive and kicking. But it's going to be Clock, I say, Apes, and they're facing fire here. And it is going to be Team Epic. They are looking hungry. They had a bloodlust in their eyes. They want those kills, and White has been spotted out. Glock taking a bit of damage. He's going to have to take a bit of cover as he heals himself. But he should be wary as well. It's not just Team Apes he has to duel against. Team P7 still have a couple of players alive as well. In the meantime, for Apes, the res should be coming in, and Kanik laying some suppressing fire onto his opponents across the fields, as we have a bit of a stalemate here. The circle will be shrinking on in, and the nade coming in from Ashok. Nepal Esports out of nowhere, a massive grenade, and that's gonna make White fall to his knees. They're running out of health kits here. They're down to bandages for the side of Apes, and that is gonna be a problem late, very late in the game here.
Yeah, it's the 6th circle, and it's about to close in again. The good thing is they're really close to it. They don't have to worry about it. They can simply stay here behind those barricades and, you know, try to get those kills from Team Epic. Sayal, however, we have 2 players alive for Team Nepal Esports, and they're taking some good damage. Beams is not going to make it. Is he going to? Oh no, he's taking the shots. Block, he just did some chip damage to him. And there's 2 players behind that drop, actually. And Team Apes, they're trying to take those kills as well. And anytime soon, Team Epic, they have to leave their comfort zone. They have to leave this place and head towards the play zone. But it's not going to be easy. It is definitely not going to be easy, since we have 8 players alive. This is such a small circle. That was a really close call. That's AWM. He missed it.
That shot. I mean, Apes went jumping. I forgot which player that was, but if he got him midair, that would have been disastrous for the side of Apes, right? But like you pointed out, Ambition, they need to go for a play. Sancher out in the open. They don't really have cover. They have a little bit of a lip, a little bit of a ledge to work with, because Nepal Esports are still raining bullets in their direction. So Apes are in a rough spot, but so are Epic, and it's going to be Ambition who will fall to Connect's AK-47, and from above, Ashok's trying to lay down the pain. Sile and Ashok taking the fight to Apes, and Apes just lying prone, waiting for the action to come to them, as Ambition will be finished off by the zone. Domi still alive for Epic though, but we're down to the final 3 teams. As P7, PeaklySeven will be knocked out in the 4th place with 4 kills to their name, and is now down to the final 3 teams. 6 alive. I do believe it is a 3v1 v2. Domi, once again, Clash, the last man standing for Epic.
He's got that MK14. Maybe he can show some good stuff right now. in this game because he missed that moment in the Erangel. He waited patiently in that game, but now look at that. He's right behind the drop as well. He has to look into two different directions because Nepal Esports will be going towards Team Epic's Domi, probably. There was a smoke from APES. I don't think so. Yeah, that was a smoke from APES. So he knows exactly how many players are right ahead of him. I think they can hear those players, they can hear them breathe. They're really close to each other. That smoke is definitely going to wear off anytime soon. And Domi is prepared with that MK14.
Oh, all the smoke's being deployed now by Nepal Esports. They know they need to make a bit of a move, a bit of a rotation. And they had a little bit of tree for cover. The ground is uneven, but like you pointed out, Domi waiting patiently. He's got the gun. He's got the cover of that perfectly placed drop. And now it's a battle of patience. Domi, eyes trained in the direction of Sayal from Nepal Esports. Ashok, he's got to make a move as well. Bullets starting to fly, and it's going to be Sanhok. He finds Domi. Domi gets taken down. He tried to play it sneaky, but with that, EpicGaming will be eliminated in third spot with 13 kills to the name, and now we're down to the final 5 left live in the server. Make that Sanhok left standing, and look at APES together running in like a pack, and they're going to mow down the final remaining player, and with that second chicken dinner for the APES. Together, they're strong. Together, they get their second meal. Sure, they had a rough game on Sanhok, but 25 points in game 1, I think it was more than 25 points, and now 24 points in game 3 with 2,000 points in total damage. APES, they've come to play, Clash. They have come to play here today.
Wow, what a game it really was. What a game it was. APES were handling Miramar perfectly. They had what they need. That was one crazy game. That was something, which started really differently the way we expected to be. And APES, it seems, they did it again. Second chicken dinner.
Yeah, they did it again out of 3. That's so very impressive. I felt like, let's be real, first couple of games, you're like, maybe a couple of these teams had some fluke games here and there, but APES like, no, Erangel wasn't a fluke. They won that one clinically, played it very, very well. We saw some usual suspects making it to the top 3, top 4. We saw EpicGaming, we saw PeaklySeven as well in the top 5, top 6 spot as well. So some of the usual suspects coming in from Erangel, some of the guys who performed in game 1, showing up here in game number 3. As we can take a look at the MVP of the game here today, I do believe it is going to be from Team APES. Of course, it is going to be White, 5 kills, 662 damage, no assists, and 473 healing done. There's quite a lot of heals being applied there. And APES, again, they seem to be a team. I won't lie, I didn't know much about them coming into this tournament. For me, it was more about teams like Team Hype, for example. But APES showing that they are a team that we need to keep an eye out for this group stage of PMCO Wildcard.
Yes, of course, because they've been showing us some good games, the first match of the Erangel with lots of grenades, and currently, if you talk about the Miramar itself, that was Domi who was spotted again by Team APES, and that was really unfortunate for Team Epic. That was really unfortunate for Team Epic as well, because Domi, he was waiting patiently with that MK14 and expecting teams from Nepal Esports to pop out so that he could get those 2 kills, but, APES, they were like, denied. We're not gonna let you kill any more players. I'm gonna take you down instead.
Denied indeed. And now we can take a look very quickly at the top players as well. It wasn't just White who managed to deal the damage there. We had some other players from other teams stepping up. We had Sneaks from P7, 3 kills, 884 damage just with 3 kills. That's daylight robbery for Sneaks. We had the same thing for Beams from Epic, who had only 3 kills but 858 points of damage. And then we had Ashok from Nepal Esports, again over 800 points of damage. Kind of crazy that it's the second, third, and fourth place players here had over 800 points of damage, but only 3 kills, while White, he was getting all the kills despite not dealing as much damage as the rest of them. Let's take a look very quickly at the recap of the game as well. On the match summary, so to speak, we can take a look at not just the most amount of damage dealt, but also other cool stats like Domi traveling over 12 kilometers on Miramar. Kind of expected. It's a big map. We saw Kanik from APES being a team member there, a great team member with 3 assists, and we saw Aryan from Nepal Esports getting a 316 meter kill. Nothing too crazy distance wise. The 300 meters is decent.
Tommy, he could have added some more distance to his name if only he had more teams and more time, because there was nothing he could do. He was the only player left. He couldn't move. He had to stay patiently just behind the drop. He could have added some distance to his name.
He could have. But well, let's take a look very quickly at the standings from that game, right? We of course had APES come out on top. APES once again being very strong indeed. EpicGaming coming in second, 13 kills. They were the Grim Reapers of Miramar, unfortunately not able to get the top or the coveted chicken dinner, but they did get the third position. Along with the kills, they will be placed second in total number of points, trailing APES by a singular point. Nepal Esports finally showing up here, 19 points to the name, placing third with 7 kills to the name. We have PeaklySeven, Team Gravity. TMK, Chicken Dinner from Sanhok, they will have to be happy with just 9 points here. Not too great, but considering they got a chicken dinner in map number 2, they're still not going to be feeling too hard done. Let's move on to the second half of the table, where we have Team Nightmare, Wonkru, WCK Team Rage, Team Hype. They were starting to build up a little bit of hype on map number 2. Clash on Sanhok, getting a few kills. Yeah. It's again fallen flat here in Miramar.
Looks like they've been engaging way too early. They just, as I told you before, Hype, and they were actually in Picaro with APES. That's where they got eliminated, I guess. But that's really unfortunate for the team, like, who's already had a lot more experience. That's the beauty of PUBG Mobile. You never know what's going to happen here.
You never know what's going to happen, but what we do know right now are the placement points. We can take a look at the overall standings as it is, as we do enter the final. We're about to go into the final game of the day of day number 1. And APES, they remain strong, but look who's right behind them. It's going to be EpicGaming, who right now are the highest fragging team in PMCO, the Wildcard Spring Split here. 51 points to the name, APES and 52, 27 kills for EpicGaming. Nepal Esports going up pretty big. They had a big jump in the rankings, 38 points, third place. TMK with 34, Gravity on 33, and then we have PeaklySeven, KTM Rage, and Team Ignore. PeaklySeven, even though we haven't seen any chicken dinners from them, one thing I've noticed is they are consistently decent with their placement points and their kill points. They don't have as many kills as, let's say, obviously like Nepal Esports or TMK or EpicGaming or APES. It's just only 10 kills across 3 games, but the placement points have been pretty darn decent so far.
Yeah, and talking about first place and second place, APES and EpicGaming, that's a point difference, 1 point difference, and that's, I don't think that's a huge difference as well. So this is the 9th,
yeah. Well, 1 point's rough, because if you look at VelociRaptor, they've only had 1 point in per game, 1 point per game. They've looked rough. The Rockers looked rough, and Kangaroo, Clash, remind me. They were in a good spot there on Miramar. I remember them having like a high ground advantage over a couple of these teams, but they seem to find themselves in a good spot, and kind of it slips out of their hands.
Of course. They were actually taking control of the higher ground, looking after PeaklySeven, but later on just switched it to APES, and they could have been third party there, getting those players eliminated completely off.
Yeah. Well, that was rough indeed.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was rough for a few of the teams. What was rough was Team Hype not able to crack the top 10 even 3 games down. But we still have a few more games remaining. We have 1 more game remaining. That's going to be finishing off on Erangel. That's going to be the end of the day. But that is after a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to the final game here of day one of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Wildcard. My name is Blair, and bringing you the action alongside me is going to be Clash Pod as usual. And Clash, Miramar was, in my opinion, the best game we've seen so far here. It might not have been the cleanest of games. We saw some teams going for plays where you were kind of critical of, but you can't deny it was fun to watch.
Yes, indeed. It was really, really fun to watch. And of course, Team APES, they are the one who's going to be really happy from that last game. 24 points. Chicken dinner. Wow.
Yeah, two chicken dinners already on day one coming in from Team Apes there. And I mean, these Mongolian players, I believe they're Mongolian as well. They're showing that they are not going to be cowed by any big names out there. You know, Mongolia region where, let's be real, when it comes to South Asian, PUBG Mobile, which is what I and yourself am more used to. We don't really deal with many of the Mongolian players, but they're showing that there is quite a lot of skill in Mongolia. So those are the big winners. PeaklySeven having a great time as well. And then heading into Erangel, again, it's a map, like you pointed out, is a map where everyone's very, very comfortable on. But we did see some of the usual suspects, some of the favorites kind of falling by the wayside, Hype being one of them, although we saw Nepal Esports really step it up here in the second and third game compared to their outing on Erangel. Do you expect anything to change here on Erangel, considering we're going to be seeing it for the second time around, and the fact that the first Erangel was a very quiet affair, but it took 15 minutes before we saw the first knock taking place. Do you think this Erangel is going to be a little bit more fast-paced?
Well, the first Erangel, I think that was a kind of sighting map. Now that they know what it's going to be, they will be changing some strategy. That's what I think. And we could see some good gameplay, some good rotation from the teams here. And talking about the plane path, we have it. And it's flying all the way to the Lipovka from the Georgia pool. It's a really beautiful plane path.
It's a clean path, leaving the military base, the military island, far, far away for a couple of the teams who probably enjoyed dropping to the southern island. We did see three teams towards Mill Island in the first game, where we saw a couple dropping towards Novo. We saw one dropping towards military base. And I'm very curious to see how the circle is going to play out. Now, I'm a fan of the circle playing spoil sport. I would love to see a southern circle and forcing everyone to go for an early migration from up north all the way down. The team for me to keep an eye out for is going to be the two teams, rather. It's going to be APES and it's going to be Epic. And both of them are heading slowly down south, but slowly drifting further and further away from each other. APES, I believe, are going to be dropping towards Pochinki. I do remember them looting towards Pochinki in the first game. They have Team Hype next to them, probably heading towards Gatka. And then the rest of them slowly spread out quite thin. Now the circle, that's what you're all waiting for here, Clash. And boom, there we go. Ooh. Exactly what I wanted. Lovely. Thank you, PUBG Mobile gods. And that is exactly what I wanted to see. It's a military circle. It's a south circle. It's a Novo circle, Clash. And that's going to be problematic for a lot of the teams in Georgia Pole and even Severny at the moment.
We also have a team in Zarki. Wow, that's going to be a long, long way path to enter the circle.
Yeah.
Look at that. Some early shots coming in from Wonkru, Bunny. And that's a knockdown for him. PP19 Bison, really good way to start the game here in Severny. There's actually two teams here in Severny. You know, whatever they do, they have to take this fight early on, and also they have to find a vehicle to move inside the circle, because that's way, way towards the southern side of the map. I think it's going to go all the way to the military island. Who knows? Come on. The circle of PUBG Mobile. Nobody knows. And that's Team Wonkru, by the way. Still holding on to these grounds here. A player from Team Equinox has been taken down, but he will be revived. They got plenty of time. It's way too early to, take any risk to go all out towards the enemy to complete those kills and get those kill points for the team itself.
Well, the battle for Severny will continue, though. Neither of these two teams really have much loot utility to work with, so they're scrambling, trying to find some weaponry, some kits, some medicine, some energy drinks, while at the same time dodging bullets left, right, and center. And again, reminding everyone, the circle is far, far, far away from where the action is taking place right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Equinox and team number 10, that is, of course, Team Wonkru, they just opt not to really take this battle and just try to find the closest vehicle. The problem is the vehicles, it's pretty slim pickings. I don't really see many vehicles around. I see a buggy over there in the distance. I don't see anything else. Apes, though, they're going to be playing a very early game of heading straight to the military island before anyone else has. I like that play. They're thinking way ahead of everyone else. The team right now leading the leaderboards, topping the leaderboard to 2 chicken dinners to the name. And they're setting up camp very early on here on Erangel, the final game of the day here, Clashbot.
You know, again, talking about the play zone, it's going to put these teams in dilemma whether we should go to the southern island or maybe whether they should stay there in the, you know, that middle island there. It's going to be putting them in a lot more dilemma. However, Team Apes, they made their move. They are completely down there towards the military island. And also Team Nightmare, they joins the military island again, somewhere around in Noble Repnoy at the moment. And talking about the breeze, I think we could see some breeze camp here because lots of teams will be using those 2 breezes, Eastern Breeze and Western Breeze, to enter the military island. And maybe we could see some players looking after the boats. You know, this is going to be a really crazy move because we can see lots of teams currently trying to cross that breeze. At least not if they're not crossing, they're trying to stay a little closer to that breeze so that if time comes, they will definitely be, you know, it will definitely be easier for them to cross that breeze with no trouble at all.
Well, the early bridge control coming in, and Hyper just lying in wait towards Fairy Pier. They can hear that buggy. Zayn, he has no idea. He was able to just dodge death there. And Nero and Assault, now they're going to be running around, scrambling about, trying to find a bit of weaponry. As TK, 420 OP. He thought it was empty. He thought that compound was empty because his teammate went past. And it's like, there's no one there. I just cruised on very comfortably, and then he gets taken down. And I know I'm not privy to the comms, but he is not going to be a happy camper right now. 420 OP is going to be like, come on, guys. Like, you told me it was empty. And he's dead. And TK are like, you know what? There's literally no point going for this. Hustler is camming the bridge. They're camming the bridge. And saying, oh, this is going to be rough indeed. They are getting mowed down. It's bloody murder on the bridge. And Apes, well, oh, my lord. That is so unfortunate for Team Kangaroo. And Kairo's just going to drop straight on down. He's like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting out of here. Oh, this is brilliant from Team Apes.
They knew exactly what's going to happen. They knew exactly, you know, what is going on here with that circle being formed. And that was a beautiful camp, you know, breach camp. And no matter how you do it, you have to get those kill points. You can camp, you can, you know, simply steal the kill as well. So that's Team Apes with 3 kills already in their name. And they're looking pretty okay. They're looking pretty good. And it seems we have some breach camp to the Noble Repnoy Breeze as well. There's Team Epic, who could be doing those breach camp moment. And talking about the players who is outside the circle at the moment, we have Team Wonkru really out there in the Zarki, and you know, that Severny and Zarki teams, they have to find the vehicle really quickly and enter the circle before anybody else does, because there is not much space left on that breeze. They have to be the first one to cross that breeze.
Well, that's exactly what they would be looking to do right now. Domi, a player I have definitely enjoyed watching, as Beams has been mowed down early on. And Domi, he's driving straight into the firefight. Immediate U-turn, right in the nick of time. And that's going to be information conveyed to his teammates as well. Ambition and Glock going to be making camp on the bridge for the time being. And are they hunting down Domi? It looked like I saw P7 heading... Oh, no, never mind. They're just going to be holding on to this fortification. This is a good spot for P7, right? They're in the zone. They have eyes on the bridge. And they're in such a good spot that if... Sure, Epic's going to be able to make their escape right now, but some other team down the line, there's so many teams still in the running, they could easily get a team wipe here if it's late in the game and the circle's closing in and the teams don't do the due diligence and clear out the angles before they drive on in. So it could be a couple of easy team wipes for the side of Team P7 if they hold on. And Nepal Esports are like, you know what, screw the road. We're just going to go for a more scenic route through the water. And that, I can't deny is a very smart play. And if
No,
I'm
they're
them,
like-
I'm going to be heading all the way down south on the island.
Yeah, that's a really good move, you know, taking a boat, heading towards these really southern side of the military island as well. It's a really good move because I think the circle is going to form somewhere around favor the southern side of the map here, the military island, of course. And look at those two bridges. Lots of teams are starting to cluster there. That's a team, the Rockers, who will, I think they're trying to cross the breeze probably anytime soon, but Hype, they're not going to leave that military breeze just like that. We have team PeaklySeven on the other side of the Noble Ripnoy, and they've got, I think that's about 3 teams down there. Oh,
Yeah.
we can hear some shots as well.
It's a cluster of
Okay.
just so many teams here, and they are one by one just taking shots at each other, but no one getting dropped yet. And this circle is it is kind of brutal. The interesting thing is the bridge is still, the eastern bridge is still in the circle, the zone. But look at APES. Look at what APES are going to be doing here. We have 2 teams heading down south with on the western bridge, and APES are lying in wait. This could be just easy farm for APES. They're just holding the line, waiting for an unsuspecting team to walk on past or drive on past, and they're looking to just riddle their bodies with the bullets. But for the time being, they're going to slow things down. Circle still a few minutes away from shrinking in.
And that's the first airdrop with AUZ-A3, and it could be looted by Team Nepal Esports if they can see them, because it's in the drop. They are on the boat. They can simply stop the boat and, you know, loot the first drop. Come on, it's got AUZ. You should go there. Get the weapon. It's a beautiful thing to do. And that's Team Hype, by the way. They are not ready to cross that breeze. It seems they're just gathering some more information because they've seen that kill feed before. They've seen those kill feed, and they must have known there is a breach camp going on down here in the military island, military breeze, and they know there's Team APES. They've been fighting with Team APES in Erangel, in Miramar. I think they fought in Sanhok as well. I think they're going to do the same thing again here in Erangel, so that could be crazy moving for Team Hype. That's a boat he wants to explode, but there is nobody. However, there is a player using the Dacia. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to get that boat for himself. Oh yes, that's the Rockers, by the way, in your dream. Trying to get a boat for the team.
Taking a bit of damage in the blue. I can see a drop in the distance as well. And the circle's not going to be dealing too much of damage, of course. It's still pretty early in the map here. So he's going to be very cool, calm, and collected, just parking the boat. A little bit of cover provided there as well, just towards a ferry pier, so no danger of anyone taking any pot shots. For the side of Team Hype, I know they don't want to really cross a bridge right now, and the zone is favoring them, right? They can still just head on to the edge of the bridge and not really cross on over. The problem is, if the circle plays sport and it heads all the way down south, they're kind of screwed. They're going to be in a rough spot. As we have Hitman from VelociRaptor, a team who've been struggling so far, and he's getting attacked from all different directions. Givy is on the hunt, and it's going to be the drop coming in, the knock coming in from Whisper, and a finish from Givy, and that is going to be down and out for Team VelociRaptors. They still have a couple of players still alive, but a rough start to the day here as we finally see a bit of a skirmish breaking out. I do believe I saw Nepal Esports get a drop onto a member from P7. Fight finally starting to break out. It was a bit of a slow start here, but here we go. Ashok, he has eyes on P7 and is looking to take the fight.
Actually, Nepal Esports, they made a huge rotation towards the, the really far end of the southern side of the map, and I think they didn't know PeaklySeven was right ahead of him on that island waiting for them. So that's where they will be taking those fights on. And look at that, Team APES. They're still here in the military base, that breeze here, and they're waiting for Team Hype.
Look at the circle, though. Then this is the thing. APES, there's no one between and the military base at the moment. Take a look at the minimap. There's no one between them and the safety of the circle, safety of the zone. And the way to split part right now, they have eyes on a lot of directions, so they're going to be feeling very comfortable with the position. The problem for Team Hype, like I pointed out earlier, sure, they're safe for now, but not in the next couple of minutes. And once the circle shrinks in, they will have to cross that bridge, and APES are going to be ready and waiting.
Yes, indeed. They are actually waiting. Look at that. And Team Hype, it seems they know there are players to the other side as well, and they're not ready to take any, risk. They're not ready to take any risk here. So we have, okay, everybody's alive. We can see a couple of players eliminated from Team VelociRaptors and EpicGaming, including Team Ignore, but other teams, they're all good here. Team Kangaroo, however, they got breach cam, they got eliminated by Team Apes. That's kind of sad thing for Team Kangaroo to be eliminated way too early from the game. But we have Team Yocto down here. If you take a closer look at the compound, we have PeaklySeven, including Yocto squad down here. They're completely inside the circle, inside the circle, and it seems they knew where the circle was going to end, and I think they're ready to take the fight.
They are indeed ready to take the fight. The thing is, both these teams, it could be a prolonged standoff because no one really needs to go for a play right now. They're both in the safety of the circle. They're pretty much smack in the center. Don't really have to rotate. And sure, if you want to take the fight, I'm not going to stop you. It's still going to be a team wipe, but at the cost of losing your teammates, right? You can suffer a few casualties. So it's about a risk analysis. It's about weighing your options and weighing the risks where you're like, sure, we might get a team wipe, but we could get wiped out in return. Or even if you get the kills, we might suffer a few casualties at the cost of taking some map control. And because of that, Sneaks is being very cheeky, but he peeks out, almost gets a drop onto TLG, but TLG knocks him out with a headshot. And it's going to be Sneaks down for the time being. Now, are the team going to be pushing on in is the question, because they know there are more players alive from P7 and Yocto. It's about a game of patience. Do they take the fight now? Do they try to finish off the job, or do they hold the line and continue the standoff?
I think it would be better for both of these teams if they stay, patiently inside those compounds, not taking any chances to lose their teammates. Because, come on, they're completely inside the circle. As you can see, they're completely inside the circle. No need to rotate or something like that. However, it seems we have Team Hype who is in trouble, including Team Apes. Because Whitey, look at that. He's waiting for Team Hype to make that move. But instead, he got knocked down. Spike 1 with the DP28 knocks him down. And, these two teams, they're taking way too longer here outside that blue, trying to get each other down in these breach here.
Oh, this is rough. This is rough. This is really rough. They need to res up, and Spike 1's going to be knocked down. He's knocked down by the play zone. It was a battle of patience. Nobody will fall as well. And Hype, despite the fact that they survived the ape scare, they will just fall to the zone. Assault will get taken down as well. Did they just get wiped out to the zone? Hype getting eliminated with just 2 kills to the name, 14th position, and they are having a rough time. And Kanik from Apes, 3 players still alive. So despite the fact they lost White, despite the fact they weren't able to get the kills on the Team Hype, the fact that they delayed them for so very long, they're going to be happy with that, right? So they don't get the kill points, Clash, but they ensure that Team Hype gets knocked out as Bunny is straight to his death. And with that, that is going to be it for Team Wonkru as well. They get eliminated, 13th position, and 1 kill to their name.
That's actually 0 points, talking about the placement points, 0 points for them. And we have a couple of teams heading towards the eastern side of the map currently, and TZ Whisper with a buggy. I think he's just trying his best to enter the circle. They will be entering the circle from the eastern side of the map, and we have a couple of teams. Apes, all of a sudden, they are going to be engaging in a battle with Team B Rocker. Look at that! Oh, I think they're gonna get those kills. Yes, of course. What is going on? Team Apes, they camped the breeze. They took some kills, and now they rotated completely safely inside the circle, and now they will be fighting with another team as well. It seems that there is no stopping for Team Apes.
They're just taking fights on every single direction. Nice burst fire control coming in from Hustler, and it's going to be Sancho trying to finish it off. Hustler is on a tear. Sancho finishes off the job. That's another team getting knocked out there, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe there's another player still alive there for the team. And bear in mind, even though they got a knock onto one of the players down the cliff, there is still one more player alive that is in your dreams, who's hiding by the cliffside, hiding underneath. And interestingly enough, Team Apes have opted just to relinquish the position off the cliffs. Now, I know that they want to play the zone, but the thing is, in your team is sneaking in from behind, using the beach, the little bit of a crest from the sand, and he can actually get the flank onto Team Apes. And this could be a massive, massive mistake on the side of the Mongolians.
Yes, of course, because there's not much cover to him. And, there's not much cover to him. He needs to be really sneaky on that one. But we have a team, actually. They're still here knocking each other out in these compounds. No casualties so far for these teams, but they've been trading knocks one after another. TLG, look at that. He's got really low in his health. And these guys are just throwing nades, Molotovs. Look at how many nades they've got. Throwing another one, Bay. And that's Prada. Okay, he is alive here for Team The Rocker. Oh. This is not looking good for the team here because they are going to be spotted from Team Apes. They are actually shooting again towards Team Rocker there. Prada really low in his health. That could be it for the team.
In Your Dream still alive though. He's swimming, but the circle's going to finish him off. That should be it. Yeah, there we go. The Rocker will be eliminated. They were trying to be sneaky, right? Trying to flank Apes from the beach, but unfortunately, that's a problem with beaches. Clash. Not much cover, right? It's just plain sand, and unfortunately, the sand will be stained red in the blood of the Rockers. And now Apes, they have control of the region, but they still need to make a play. But the thing is, they have such a good eye line onto Team NTE, and he spots a lot of them. Kanik knows exactly where the members of Team Nightmare are. They do have cover, but they're taking a bit of damage. And Apes opt to just relinquish the position, opt to reposition themselves. The problem is, you look at the zone, there's only one team inside of it, and there's not much cover, except this little hut where team number 7, that's Team Gravity, have called home.
And he's also the only player left for the team as well. So he needs to be really careful not to expose himself to the enemies. If he steps out of that sack, he could be in trouble. Soap taking some damage though. Whisper, I think he just wanted to steal the kill. He couldn't do it though. That's Muslim kill, really close to him. Whisper trying to play some good game. Okay, he's just trying to get those, steal those kills from every single direction. It seems like he's so desperate. He's also being a little patient, but also some kind of, desperation can be seen from Whisper for Team Gravity there.
Oh, Kanik's screwed. He's screwed. He's out in the open. They're getting shot from multiple directions. There's no real cover. Sancho is going to be the only player left, but he's also getting shot. NTE, Nightmare, trying to be a nightmare for Team Apes, and Sancho, last man standing, rather last ape standing, but he is standing strong for the time being and tossing in all utility, bullets whizzing past him. You can see the bullets just scraping past the trunk, but he's going to deploy a few smokes, try to buy a bit of time. Bear in mind, he is in safety. He is in a safe zone. Now, for how long he can survive, we don't know, but for the time being, is going to be alive and standing. As Epic and Nepal Esports, they're having a hell of a battle as well.
Now still we have Yocto, Yocto and PeaklySeven still there in that compound. They are not leaving that compound just yet because the circle is upon them. Nothing to worry about. The only thing is Dexter is trying to get those, some shots, some cheap damage. Sanjeev's still alive. And this is the survival stats for you guys. Team Gravity already got 6 kills and Apes with 7 kills. And with only one player left, I believe Sanchir is going to hold a little bit longer with the patience he's got.
Well, patience is something that he is no stranger to, but time is not his friend. And unfortunately, he is pinned down behind the burning vehicle of his. He's managed to heal himself up for the time being. As we have Team Yocto E-Sports, haven't budged yet from their position, right? They've been there from the beginning of the game as Dexter taking a bit of damage. It's got his teammate Versi on his knees.
There's only 2 players left who can fight for the team here. Oh, that's M24. I think he was going to take that shot again. Maybe he could see the fit of that player just behind the rock. Oh no, what is going on here? Yocto then had to leave the place and going towards Sanchir, who is waiting patiently. He's just waiting patiently. Oh, is it going to be 1v1 for him? No, Whisper again. I think he is going to be close. But Sanchir, will he make it? Will he clutch it? Oh yes, he is. He is going to do that.
And he finishes off the job as well. He even gets the kill onto the player,
Killing.
just ensuring that he gets the points. And now everyone has to push on in. The circle is moving on in. Clash is not looking good. Look at what's happening. Epic. They're trying to find Whisper, but Whisper with a nade finishes off Dobby. Clock's gonna come running on in, and he gets taken down. That's a wipe. That's a 1v3 coming in from Whisper. What a huge play, but he's also burning alive. He needs to heal himself up real quick, which he will. That was a massive wipe coming out from Whisper. As we're down now to the final 4 teams and 9 left alive in the server. Whisper, 5 kills to his name, keeping the flag high for his teammate as Sotko rattling off bullets, not able to land a single one on the number of P7. This is absolute pandemonium.
With that clutch, Team Gravity, they must be really proud of Whisper. That was insane. He just eliminated, I believe, 3 or 4 players from that sack itself. That is crazy. But we have a couple of shots, a couple of things going on here. The circle it's shifted again, and everybody's inside so far. But this is going to be open circle. These teams, they have to find a vehicle, find some cover if they want to stay alive and get those chicken dinner for the team. And PeaklySeven, they are being shot down. I believe they are actually being shot down from every single direction, non-stop with the DP28 spots Sudko, and that could be it for a player from Team Yocto E-Sport. There's still one more player left for the team, though.
Team Nightmare are in a very, very good position at the moment, right? They're in a very good spot here to try and get the chicken dinner non-stop, alive by barely a sliver of health. He's going to deploy the smoke. That's also risky because that's announcing his presence now. He doesn't have any med kits. He doesn't have any first aid kits. He doesn't have any energy drinks, nothing. No painkillers. It's just the bandages. And one by one, he wraps it around his wounds, trying to heal up for as long as the smoke provides him a little bit of cover. Syri, his teammate, bleeding out in the open. Unfortunately, there's nothing that Nonstop can do. Or can he? Can he? He can go for this. He can go for this, and he is indeed. Crouches down. Oh, but he gets spotted out. Oh, he gets spotted out. He went for the play. He went for the play. He should have just let his teammate bleed out. Finds him, and now we're down to the 5. 2 teams left standing. It's a 3v1. It's all on Whisper.
I guess we're gonna have new team with the chicken dinner. Who knows? Whisper, the only player who clutched a moment ago. That's Dexter, who's going a little closer. They know exactly where he is, throwing a nade just to confirm the kill. But those smoke is definitely not gonna be easy. That throwing that nade through the small opening there, it's not gonna be easy. However, Whisper, look how careful he really is. Nades here, nades there. Oh my goodness.
And a barrage of artillery fire.
Perfect nade.
Dexter will Kobe his way to a win. That is so well done. As we have yet another new winner, yet another chicken dinner going the way of a new team this time around. It's going to be Team Nightmare, who are in a very good position the entire duration of this game, and they're going to come out on top. 24 points in total, 9 kills. Getting the chicken dinner as well. And Team Nightmare, they were looking rough all this while, but they finally come out on top. But for me, the play was Whisper winning that 1v3 clash. That was, I feel like that was almost the play of the day.
The perfect nade for the chicken dinner. Wow. What an amazing nade that was. Whisper, however, we cannot forget the clutch. That was really insane. He held there properly. He held there, with some patience. And he was chipping a little bit damage here and there, trying to get, steal some kills. And I believe he did well, staying alive. Second place is not a bad thing to, finish up the game as well. So, yeah, Team TZ, they must be proud of Whisper.
Yeah, they should be very, very proud for Team Gravity as we do come to the end of the day. But before that, we can take a look at the MVP of that particular matchup. It is going to be Whisper from Team Gravity. Yes, he doesn't get the chicken dinner, but that was a massive clutch coming in from him. Hopefully, we can see that in the replay later on. 6 kills, 700 points of damage, 2 assists as well. Great stuff coming in from Whisper there from Team Gravity, ensuring that they at least get that second spot, or else they would have been knocked out way earlier in that game. Also, we can take a look very quickly at the top 4 players of that match. And I do believe Whisper is going to be part of that, obviously. But apart from that, we have a mixed bag here, a clash. We got Dexter, we got Ambition, and we got Sancho.
One player from each team's there. Epic, Apes, Nightmare, Dexter with a nade. I think he was the one who used the last grenade to get the chicken dinner, and that was beautiful. Beautifully done.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Imagine you're in a hut and you have like 10 grenades being tossed in a direction. So Whisper, he tried his best, but it was very hard for him to win out that clutch, especially once his position was known. As we can take a look very quickly, not wasting any time, let's take a look at the match summary, the recap of all the cool stats, which everyone likes to see. Highest damage is Whisper, most kills is Whisper, surprise, surprise. Epic Ambition with the longest distance kill, 263 meters. Sayal going on a journey around the world, 14 kilometers traveled on the map. And Whisper, not only did he get 6 kills, he also got the most number of assists in the server. So all in all, a great game from Whisper and Team Gravity. Unfortunately, not able to get a chicken dinner, but we can take a look at the standings of this match. And Clash, I want you to take me through where these teams stand here in this game.
So we have Team Nightmare with 9 kills and a chicken dinner, 24 points. Not a bad way to start. I think that's our third team for the chicken dinner out of 4 games. And Team Gravity not so far behind with 21 points, which is really good for the teams, you know. And PeaklySeven, look at that. They've got only 2 kills, but the placement points, that was really good for them. So 12 points, they climbed up in the 5th in this match, in the Erangel, of course. And, you know, Nepal Esports, they made a huge rotation all the way to the southern side of the military island. But unfortunately, they had to fight with PeaklySeven to enter that island, you know, that ground. And I think they got eliminated in the process of taking that ground from PeaklySeven.
Yeah, well, we can take a look at the second half of the table here. So we saw some huge games. Apes, again, didn't get a chicken dinner, but third place, and they're going to be happy with that. Team Hype once more bowing out early here in the final game of the day, which is unfortunate for them. TMK, they got a chicken dinner in Sanhok. Unfortunately, nothing really going their way here in the final game of the day. Of course, we have the usual suspects who have struggled quite a bit. Team Kangaroo, WCK Team Rage, and Big Fat Zero over there. So some teams, again, you have some winners, you have some losers, and I feel like as we take a look at the overall standings of the PMCO Wildcard, we'll see who the eventual winners are. And Apes and Epic, it's neck to neck. It's the 1 point difference there. Both is Apes getting 2 chicken dinners. EpicGaming almost tied with them without getting even a single chicken dinner. That is so impressive from them. Team Gravity catapulting instead, pardon me, all the way to the 3rd spot. Nepal Esports holding strong in the 4th position. PeaklySeven, like we said, they don't get too many kills. They have the least number of kills in the top 7. But their placement points have been consistently very, very good so far, Clash.
It's really identical to EpicGaming. That's really good. You have to be more consistent in the whole tournament if you want to, you know, be qualified and climb up in the leaderboard. And that's what PeaklySeven are doing. They're not hungry for the kills. They just want to be more consistent with the points, with the placement points and everything. And I think they're doing good. They're doing good. Nightmare with that chicken dinner, they've climbed up to the 6th place, which is really awesome for the team. And Team Apes, in talking about Team Apes and EpicGaming, they started the last match with only a point difference and ended the last match with a point difference as well. So this is going to be really interesting to see how they're going to do it, you know, in the upcoming days here.
Well, let's take a look at the overall the kill leaders as well. I do believe we have that stat. Taking a look at the stats that we have available, and there we have it. The kill leaders of the day in Epic Ambition. Sure, they didn't get a single chicken dinner, Clash, but Ambition and Domi, they were always there to kill feed, always getting those kills. Total of a crazy amount of damage being dealt by both these two players. Sancho from Apes making, showing his presence as well. And then, of course, we have Ali from TMK with that crazy performance he had in Sanhok, really helping him reach a top 4. So no big surprises, I guess, when it comes to the kill leaders.
15 kills. Wow. 15 kills.
Wow, that's all I have to say as well. 15 kills. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be wasting much more time here. I do believe that is the end of the show. That's the end of the day here. And it was a very, very crazy day of action. Group A facing off against Group B. Tomorrow, I believe, it's going to be Group C versus Group D. So we're going to be seeing brand new teams playing again. But that's it from our end here. My name is Blair. Alongside me was ClashBot47 during our first day here of the PMCO Wildcard Wildcard Spring Split 2021. We'll be back tomorrow with more action. So till then, adios. Adieu? I don't care. Goodbye.
See you guys. Adios.